Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. Ningzhu was growing older. Ningzhu and Sun Lingtong caused an uproar at the black market. In the alleys, several lurking cultivators fell to the ground in succession. Ningzhu followed the sound, turned around suddenly, and was startled to see these cultivators. If he was really attacked by these people, he would be in dire straits. Then he cried out in surprise and delight, "Mom, how did you get here? I haven't seen you for so long." Buddhist physician Meng Yayan smiled. "The things you've done these past few days, I've been watching, and they are very commendable." She saw Ningzhu approaching and exclaimed, "How quickly you've grown so tall. It seems like just yesterday when I was listening to nursery rhymes to put little Zhu to sleep. Follow me." Ningzhu then followed Meng Yayan, descending underground into a secret base. Meng Yayan said, "I've established many such secret bases. This one is Base Dingzi. I've left behind some things here. Now it seems you are qualified to possess these things. It won't be a burden on your heart due to their great worth, nor will it be like a child holding gold in a crowded market." Ningzhu obtained the cloud-concealed bud. Ningzhu obtained the lava fairy palace essence. Ningzhu obtained a mechanical sickle. Meng Yayan advised, "The cloud-concealed bud is a wondrous flower containing the essence of cloud pathways and can help you conceal many secrets. The lava fairy palace essence is a compilation of experiences I have summarized, as well as conjectures about the layout of the immortal palace and the highly regarded individuals from the three sects. This mechanical sickle you must pay the most attention to. It is one of the night rain demon weapons, extremely sharp and difficult to tame. The more cultivators it devours, the greater its power becomes. I've paid a great price to tame it, hence it is most affectionate towards me. Even so, I need to reforge it periodically to cleanse the accumulated malice. Otherwise, there is the risk of backlash. Before my death, I heavily sealed it. This is a measure of expedience. The longer it takes, the greater the possibility of it breaking the seal. Once the seal is broken, it will become even more fierce and murderous, like a ravenously hungry beast, and those close to it will be in danger. You carry the scent I left on you, so it shouldn't immediately seek to trouble you. When you encounter an opponent too difficult to deal with, release its seal, let it fight your enemy. Then take the opportunity to seal it again. You cannot do this too often. The more enemies it devours, the harder it will be to control. Its greatest weakness lies in the mechanical underbelly and its snake form at the position of 7 inches. That's where its malice lies hidden, and if you remove it, the malice will greatly diminish. However, this malice has already been tamed by me. If in the future it devours too many cultivators and malice greatly increases, you should remove the mechanical parts at its 7 inches. This will weaken it significantly. Any night rain demon weapon will develop malice over time. Periodically, you should install the 7 inches components. Allow the old inherent malignity and the new malice to kill each other off, to deplete each other. This is one way to control it. You must preserve the original malignancy, which has already been tamed by me. Being my own flesh and blood, it will also be somewhat close to you. Remember, reforging, sealing technique, and consumption of malignity are the 3 main methods to control this sickle. The specific details are all recorded in the Lava Fairy Palace essence that I've handed down." Ningzhu nodded, indicating that he would definitely remember her instructions, and then said, "Mom, I want to share our secrets, including this one, with Boss Son. Do you think that's okay?" Meng Yayan smiled faintly and stroked Ningzhu's hair. "That's fine. Mom told you to keep it a secret before because she was worried about exposing our secrets. After all, strangers can't be trusted lightly. But over the years, I've been watching Sun Lingtong's performance and conduct. I must say, little Zhu, you are really very lucky. He is someone you can trust with your life and fortune. Of course, that's only up to now. People can change. You must always observe and remain vigilant. Don't show him the Lava Fairy Palace essence just yet. It is essential to be cautious of others and always leave a margin for yourself. If his heart remains unwavering and it seems more suitable in the future, then you can show him the essence without worry." Ningzhu shook his head slightly, his expression firm. "I believe in Boss Son." Meng Yayan was slightly taken aback. "Little Zhu, you've grown up. You have your own ideas now, and Mom is very happy about it. Then go ahead and do as you wish." Seeing his mother's support, Ningzhu was overjoyed, his gaze resolute as he looked up at Meng Yayan. "Mom, just wait for me. I will definitely find a way to cure your injuries. I will take you back from the lava fairy palace. Meng Yayan's heart trembled. She knew Ning Zhu was clever and must have understood the intention behind the inheritance she was giving him. Combining with the fact that her amnesiac periods were becoming longer over the years, the total time she truly regained her sanity was just 1 or 2 weeks out of a year. Ning Zhu would have guessed the separation between mother and son was imminent. She bent down and embraced Ning Zhu in her arms. Ning Zhu didn't cry anymore, he just held Meng Yayan tightly. Ning Zhu, along with Sun Lingtong, discovered the underground base. He obtained the cloud-concealed bud, night wind soft iron, floating cloud handkerchief, and other cultivation materials. The lava fairy palace essence was also among them. Sun Lingtong exclaimed, "Little Zhu, your mother really put a lot of effort into this. She specially arranged this inheritance and didn't give it to you before she died." On one hand, she was worried that someone would discover it and harm you covertly to steal the treasure. On the other hand, she was also concerned that, being young and wealthy, you would rest on the laurels of your ancestors, neglect your studies, and waste away in luxury and indolence, rather than striving for further progress. You managed to pass the test set by your mother and followed the clues to find this place by your own abilities. This is what your mother wanted to see. You have done very well. Ning Zhu said, "If Boss Sun hadn't taught me how to steal, how could I have discovered the clues and ultimately found this place? Boss, thank you so much." Sun Lingtong immediately puffed up with pride, hands on his hips, chuckling, "Of course." Ning Zhu took a deep breath, holding back his nervous emotion, ready to lay it all out for Sun Lingtong. Sun Lingtong said seriously, "The cloud-concealed bud is indeed a powerful tool. According to the records on the jade slip, it should be able to counteract various investigative spells like the trace origin technique. Little Zhu, this is a supreme protective weapon for you. You must make good use of it. You desire to seize the lava fairy palace. You'll inevitably face various investigations in the future. I've always wanted to persuade you to join the Bukong sect, because the sect possesses profound secrets that can withstand such investigations. However, due to sect rules, only disciples are qualified to cultivate them. This cloud-concealed bud does indeed compensate for your significant vulnerabilities. However, I will not look at this lava fairy palace essence. Also, from now on, I don't want to know about anything that your mother left you." Ning Zhu asked in confusion. "Huh, why?" "You fool," Sun Lingtong said. "Didn't I just mention the trace origin technique? Have I not spoken to you before about the Divine Hunter Office of Southern Bean Country? We need to keep our own secrets. This way, if someone is caught in the future, the damage would be minimal, not implicating the others." Sun Lingtong, who had been caught for theft many times before, spoke from rich experience and had the authority to say this. "If you or I get caught in the future and undergo a soul search that reveals each other's information, wouldn't that just give others an opportunity to trace back the connections and take us all down in one fell swoop? On the contrary, as long as one of us remains uninvolved, the hope for future rescue is greater, right?" Ning Zhu had an epiphany. "No wonder when I was young, Boss Sun, you always reminded me that keeping my own secrets is the right thing to do." "That's right. I am your boss son, after all." Sun Lingtong chuckled triumphantly, hands on hips. Ning Zhu secretly studied the lava fairy palace essence. The jade slip recorded how Meng Yayan now infiltrated the immortal palace, continuously probed, exploited loopholes, and used her position as commander to enter the main hall, take the throne, and exercise a portion of the palace master's authority. The essence explicitly noted, there should be a palace spirit in the lava fairy palace, yet unseen. Meng Yayan speculated that the palace spirit must be extremely weak, in eternal slumber, which caused the immortal palace to operate on its own, continuously falling below standards. "What, my mother had golden core cultivation?" "That's true. She has the cloud-concealed bud to mask her cultivation easily." Ning Zhu was shocked, yet he quickly came to terms with it. His thoughts ran wild, spawning more questions. Why did his mother live incognito? And how did she meet and mate with his father? Could his father also be a golden core? Unlikely. Although Ning Zhu had never met his biological father, he had gathered much from his mother and the villagers around him. He knew his father, Ning Zhang, was devoutly loyal to the family, proud of the lineage, an honest man. It was unlikely that he, like Meng Yayan, hid his cultivation. Lava Fairy Palace has many mechanical buildings, like the Five Elements turret, the command platform, the medical pavilion, and so on. The origin of my mother's position originates from one of these. In the future, I should also learn from my mother, accumulate merits, and obtain positions. Positions come with command responsibilities. Perhaps I too should make a wide array of friends, gathering strength to jointly occupy a mechanical building and monopolize its related positions. Ningzhu continued reading. The Zheng family, HMPH, the two golden core ancestors of the Zheng family, they've given my mother a hard time on multiple occasions. Although they weren't the cause of my mother's injuries, the fact that they often took action and clashed with her, delaying her recovery, is undeniable. When the opportunity arises in the future, I will repay them. Ningzhu did not forget the priority. He studied in detail how to control the mechanical sickle. From the Lava Fairy Palace essence, he learned the true name of the mechanical sickle, the big snake scythe. He carefully studied the 3 methods of controlling it. First was the sealing technique, which indeed required a cultivation at the golden core stage. Second was the circuit re-refining, even more challenging, requiring a top-grade smelting furnace. Third, removing the 7-inch component and reinstalling it at a set time, allowing the old and new ferocities to counter each other internally. Ningzhu, 8 years old, watching the mechanical giant snake swallow up the cultivator corpses, Sun Lingtong couldn't help but exclaim, "Using it to clean up the battlefield is really handy." In the past 2 years, it has helped us eliminate many powerful enemies. Now that we're using it so adeptly, are you really planning to gift it to the Zheng family? Ningzhu nodded. It's becoming more ferocious. The sealing power my mother left has been exhausted. We're not golden core cultivators. We don't have the ability to reseal it. We lack a smelting furnace for re-refining. Only the Zheng family has that. We've countered the ferocity too many times, and the original threat is no longer as formidable. If this continues, the new ferocity will completely destroy the original one, and our control over the big snake scythe will drop to the lowest. Find an opportunity to hand it over to the Zheng family, along with the mechanical diagram. I reckon the 2 golden core individuals of the Zheng family won't be able to resist the temptation. They're bound to be passionate about re-refining the big snake scythe. From now on, we've basically mastered the black market, and we'll keep stockpiling night wind soft iron. When the Zheng family decides to reforge, they will certainly choose the best materials, which will be the night wind soft iron. At that time, I'll mix the original ferocity into the night wind soft iron, betting that the Zheng family won't discover it. Sun Lingtong giggled, her eyes glinting. What a clever plan, clever indeed. The artifacts of the Night Rain dynasty are vastly different from the current cultivation methods. The chances of the Zheng family detecting the original ferocity are slim. I'll take the big snake scythe and place it in the Lava Fairy Palace. We can't directly give it to the Zheng family's golden core. We need to choose a suitable person as an intermediary. He. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. The intervals at which the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, recovered her consciousness became longer and longer. Before, she could see Ningzhu several times a year. Gradually, it became once every 2 or 3 years. Ningzhu immersed himself in the study of mechanical techniques, neglecting sleep and food. Ningzi and others advised him, and the academy elder told him to balance his efforts, but he cast their words aside, feigning compliance. What could compare to the importance of his mother? One deep night, the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, appeared. After examining Ningzhu's foundation in mechanical techniques, Meng Yayan smiled with relief. My son has studied diligently, creating a solid base in mechanical arts. Although his cultivation level is low, it is enough to help his mother now. Mother, what must I do? Ningzhu asked eagerly, full of joy. Meng Yayan said, Your mother has passed away, only her spiritual nature remains. Now, because of injuries inflicted by the Tao, only by sealing herself can she maintain her presence for more days. By common reasoning, you, still in the early stage of qi refinement, having embarked on the path of cultivation not long ago, cannot control golden core level mechanical dolls. But my Buddha heart demon seal can break this convention. You will use the heart seal, supplemented by the mechanical components I've modified as a Buddhist physician, and finally combine it with your mother's natural affinity for your spirit. Then, you might barely control the Buddhist physician. Meng Yayan imparted to Ningzhu the technique to control. Ningzhu learned it right away. his eyes shining faintly, able to influence the movements of the Buddhist physician. Meng Yayan was content, then took care to add, "My child, I have already modified the Buddhist physician mechanism to ensure it won't completely revert to the immortal palace. After your mother seals herself, the Buddhist physician will act according to its own prohibitions and your mother's spirit. It will wander around Fire Persimmon Mountain, continuously slaying flame demon beasts to protect the immortal palace. Your mother can't recover her consciousness on her own anymore. She needs you to awaken her from the outside. To this end, your mother has already found a solution. Your mother belongs to Flying Cloud Country, has already improved upon the sealing technique and made arrangements, using cultivators who explore Fire Persimmon Mountain, selling up and down Rui silk cords. When your mother needs to exert effort, just mix in special cloud threads." Ningxiu listened carefully, not daring to miss a single word. At the end, Ningxiu questioned, "Mother, I have recently reviewed Lava Fairy Palace Essence again. Whether it's the big snake scythe or you, both have been through the golden furnace. How can the golden furnace refine spirit? Does this related prohibition come from some scripture? If I obtain it, could it help to restore your spirit?" Meng Yayan smiled slightly. "Your mother has indeed contemplated this point before, and it is indeed possible. In the future, when you enter the palace, perhaps you may try it. However, spirit is spirit, memory is memory. Your mother has already lost much of her memory, only the most critical parts remain. Even though I have sealed the spirit, it doesn't prevent the erosion of memory by the Tao injury. My child, your mother." Meng Yayan's voice choked, her tone trembling slightly. "Mother may not remember you in the future. Acting solely on spirit, I hope you won't be sorrowful." Tears suddenly rimmed Ningxiu's eyes, his voice hoarse and resolute. "Mother, I will definitely think of a way. Rest assured, I will seize the immortal palace. I will surely save you." Meng Yayan reached out, caressing Ningxiu's face, her gaze filled with affection. "Of course your mother believes you, my child. How fortunate your mother is to have such a good child. Having accompanied you for so many years, your mother is already content. Seizing the immortal palace is not important. Neither is your mother. You should have your own life, and you will have your own path." Ningxiu interrupted. "Mother, don't say that anymore." He embraced his mother, and for the first time since he had grown up, he shed tears. 16 years old. "Mother, there's been a change. The Lava Fairy Palace has lowered its standard to the Qi refinement realm. We might never get there in this lifetime." Ningxiu decided to bomb the immortal palace. He accidentally encountered Ning Chen and Ning Yang. Ning Chen taunted, "What if I were your uncle and auntie, seeing you so down and out, scraping a living in an inconspicuous little workshop? What would go through your mind?" Perhaps they're thinking, "Look at that Ningxiu, so ignorant of his place without our help. He can only live a life of hardship, gradually sinking to the bottom of cultivators." Ningxiu's mind went on alert. This Ning Chen is off. Outwardly, he furrowed his brows, his face darkening as though his defenses had been breached. Ning Chen smirked inwardly and pressed on, unaware that Ningxiu was simply going along with the trap. After meeting Ning Zhanji, Ningxiu and the family cultivators went deep into Persimmon Fire Mountain. Ning Zhanji lectured him, "You're still young, don't just chase after money. You should know that investing in yourself is the best path to success. Once you reach the foundation establishment stage, your life will be on a different plane." Ningxiu confirmed at this point, "The one who wants to set me up is Ning Zhanji, even though he has someone behind him. HMPH, you want to scheme against me? It might just be a good opportunity to get rid of this person." After delving deeper into Persimmon Fire Mountain, Ningxiu contacted the mechanical Buddha doctor with his heart seal. With a deep light in his eyes, he remote-controlled the Buddha doctor, cutting down flame demon beasts along the way, and hurriedly set up a rudimentary array as bait. The Ning family cultivators were quick to fall for the trap. "There's a magma demon ape ahead." Suddenly, a cultivator responsible for scouting in the team shouted a warning. The Ning family's team kept moving deeper, surrounded by demon beasts, forming an array for self-protection. Meanwhile, the Buddha doctor drew close to the Lava Fairy Palace, provoking an attack from Zheng Xuangu. "You vermin, daring to covet the immortal palace, leave your life behind." Zheng Xuangu roared. The Black Shadow Demon Cultivator Buddha doctor, under Ningxiu's control, spoke in an old voice, laughing harshly. "The treasures of the cultivation world belong to those who are fated. You major clans of Fire Persimmon Immortal City think you can monopolize the Lava Fairy Palace. Dream on. In the midst of battle, the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator struck out casually, killing Ning Zhanji. Lord Ning Zhanji, the Ning family cultivators cried out. But Ning Zhanji lay on the ground, eyes wide open, dead and unable to close them. The Immortal Palace was exploded into the open, the Dharma transmission bell ringing through the entire city, greatly surprising Ning Zhuo. He and the other Ning family cultivators were taken back to the prison for questioning. For safety, Ning Zhuo remote-controlled the Buddha doctor to follow. If his identity was exposed, he would use the Buddha doctor for rescue. Ning Zhuo passed the interrogation smoothly, but an unexpected incident occurred upon leaving the prison. The alert heart bell sensed something, leading Kai Dun to find the Buddha doctor. Two golden core cultivators clashed. The Ning family cultivators panicked, fearing collateral damage, and fled in all directions. Ning Chen and Ning Yang also pulled Ning Zhuo to run, but Ning Zhuo said, "Run, let's go back to the prison, that's the safest place." The two were stunned. Ning Zhuo directly grabbed the hands of the two men. "Trust me, you won't be wrong." The three of them returned to the dungeon. Ning Chen and Ning Yang were restless. Ning Zhuo pretended to be leisurely and composed, eating fruit and drinking tea while secretly focusing his mental power to control the Buddhist physician and tactically retreat during battle. At the critical moment, he thought of Fei Si and daringly controlled the Buddhist physician to rush into the Fire Persimmon forest. Fei Si's behavior was as Ning Zhuo had predicted. He turned around and stopped Kai Dun. As the youthful guest, Ning Zhuo gathered Sun Lingtong and Han Ming and successfully raided the elixirs of Xiang courtyard. Ning Zhuo's plot against Han Ming was a success. Sun Lingtong suggested inspecting the pills and keeping them. Ning Zhuo shook his head. "I strongly advise against that. This time we happened to come across Meng Chong. He is a nascent soul's grandson, and our action could easily be interpreted as a plot against Meng Chong." Ning Zhuo snorted coldly. "Isn't that simple? Just throw them into the Fire Persimmon forest." Sun Lingtong was startled, then his eyes lit up, and he clapped in admiration. "Brilliant, truly brilliant." Indeed, it was brilliant. The pills, coming directly from the righteous hall to the hands of the Buddhist physician, greatly reduced the connection between the youthful guest, Sun Lingtong, and the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator. And with the purification capabilities of the Buddhist physician's mechanical light, even the Phoenix Soul Blood Fragrance pills and Foundation Establishment pills, which Foundation Establishment Cultivator Sun Lai might have tagged with tracking methods, would be thoroughly cleansed. The Persimmon Fire Festival. Chen Cha felt emotional about Yuan Dasheng's reliability. Ning Zhu remained silent, with a current of deep light brewing in the depths of his eyes. He scoffed to himself. Reliable. My schemes have all led up to this moment. A dozen mechanical monkeys suddenly broke free from the control of the cultivators and attacked Yuan The assassination attempt failed. Yuan Dasheng turned back around and continued picking persimmons. On the mountainside, the deep light in Ning Zhu's eyes had accumulated to the extreme. Come on," he whispered in his heart. The earlier assassination had already attracted the attention of the Golden Core cultivators. The following explosion shifted almost everyone's focus. The Buddhist physician took this opportunity to shrink its form and sneak into the storage formation of an explosive flame monkey. Once the mechanical monkeys reached their storage limit for persimmons, they were remotely controlled to return by Foundation Establishment cultivators. They would stand in the massive circular array, spitting out stored persimmons, which piled up on the ground. Once they formed a small mountain, a zhang high, the array would activate and transport the persimmons directly to the granary of the city lord's mansion. As a result, the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator mysteriously disappeared. The various Golden Core cultivators all had serious expressions. The Zhou family patriarch doubted Zhu Xuanji's golden eyes talent. Zhu Xuanji haughtily said, "I can only tell you that my mastery of the golden eye insight is nearly divine. In my decade-plus years with the Divine Hunter Office, I have only encountered 3 Golden Core cultivators who have withstood my golden eye insight. Below the Golden Core, no living being can escape my eye." Ning Zhuo, after his soul entered the Immortal Palace, went straight for the Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra as his reward. The contents of the Buddhist scripture quickly transmitted into Ning Zhuo's heart. Just as I had guessed. Ningzhu was first exhilarated, then he was stunned. The content of the Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra moved him. At that moment, he almost wept with joy. Mother, the Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra can refine spiritual nature. It can grow your spiritual nature. It must be the prohibition within the golden furnace. Mother, I have found it. The city lord's mansion dispatched assassins to attack the 3 prodigious cultivators. Ningzhu was inside a small cultivation chamber surrounded by floating clouds that obscured the view. He turned his head and stared in a certain direction, frowning deeply, the eerie light flickering in his eyes. The Buddhist physician was hidden, always guarding Ningzhu's safety. Through the hands of the Buddhist physician, Ningzhu instantly killed the assassins, and a thought crossed his mind. Isn't this the perfect opportunity to increase my mother's spiritual nature? The Buddhist physician stowed away the corpses of the assassins, hiding themselves inside a carriage. Clip-clop, clip-clop. A series of rapid hoofbeats approached. A carriage seemed out of control, rushing toward the small courtyard. Boom! The carriage exploded, and flames scorched everything. Under the cover of the cloud-concealed bud, the Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra refined the small courtyard. Drawing out specks of spirit light, they flowed into the mechanical Buddha physician. The Buddhist physician's spiritual movement recovered. With the resurgence of spiritual nature, it was now able to use its innate immortal aptitude and divine skills, further regaining strength. Mother! Ningzhu choked up, reuniting with her in a blaze. Who are you? The Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, however, asked. Ningzhu's body tensed abruptly. The voice of the Buddhist physician Meng Yayan was very gentle. Why do you feel so familiar to me? You must be someone very important to me, right? Ningzhu's eyes reddened, and his voice trembled. Mother, I am your child, I am Ningzhu. Ning-zhuo. The Buddhist physician Meng Yayan looked confused. She couldn't remember. After his battle with Qi Bai, at the final moment, the giant fist slammed down, the chilly wind howled, and the terrifying murderous aura left one breathless. Ningzhu looked up defiantly, glaring intensely at the bullhead ghost soldier. In the end, do I have to resort to using the Buddhist physician? Boom, the attack of the bullhead ghost soldier was unexpectedly blocked. All of a sudden, a figure stood in front of Ningzhu like a mighty mountain. Ningzhu's eyes gradually widened, staring at the figure before him. His heart exclaimed, Yuan Dashang? Ningzhu installed the mechanism core ball furnace fire essence into the body of a golden core level mechanical monkey. Ningzhu thought deeply. Ordinary fire essence, even if consumed, provides the power that is hard to drive this heavy monkey mechanism. Fire essence, fire persimmon, barely different. Can't I just use 1,000-year-old fire persimmon or 10,000-year-old fire persimmon instead? Just right. The mechanical Buddha doctor is hidden in the storeroom of the city lord's mansion. Stealing fire persimmons will be easy. Zhu Xuanji received the royal family's calculated result and discovered it was Yuan Dashang. He flew up to the sky, loudly proclaiming, lifting the roof and descending in front of Ningzhu. Speak. Why did you want to kill Yuan Dashang? Zhu Xuanji suddenly spoke, his voice iron-like, devoid of any warmth. A massive pressure, like an invisible mountain range, suddenly weighed down on Ningzhu. Ningzhu staggered, his back inevitably bending, but he did not kneel instead. He strained to maintain his stance. He was ready to resort to the black shadow demon cultivator Buddhist physician. Golden core melee. Seeing one black shadow demon cultivator after another making their entrance, Ningzhu immediately abandoned his original plan. The mechanical Buddha doctor need not join the battle. Zheng Danlian faced the true transmission of Taking Palace. A gleam flashed in Ningzhu's eyes. The big snake scythe suddenly exerted its power, slaying the true transmission of the Taking Palace. After entering the Immortal Palace, Ningzhu transmitted a message to Sun Lingtong. Boss, there's a problem with the dragon turtle fire spirit. If it suddenly contacts you in the future, do not trust it one-sidedly. Moreover, although we can communicate through life-hanging thread, I fear the power of the Immortal Palace. Our communication might be intercepted by the dragon turtle fire spirit. After all, each of us upon entering the Immortal Palace hangs a thread from the Lava Fairy Palace. Who knows, the dragon turtle fire spirit might also have the ability to alter our messages. For safety, we should mainly meet in person. Sun Lingtong nodded. Okay, I'll remember. Ning Xiaohui was dead. Ningzhu slightly opened a sliver of the spirit box. The next moment, some spiritual nature like fireflies drifted out, directly integrating into the flowing clouds and streaming water talisman. Ningzhu's eyes suddenly brightened. It really can be done. For a moment, he was incredibly joyous, his eyes brimming with tears. Previously, this was just his conjecture, but now, put into practice, it perfectly verified his thoughts. To replenish the flowing clouds and streaming water talisman's spiritual nature could completely be handled starting from a cultivator. Ning Xiaohui, during her lifetime, had used this talisman and was particularly fond of it, almost regarding it as forbidden. This relationship allowed some of her spiritual nature, after being refined by fire, to be absorbed by the flowing clouds and streaming water talisman, adding to its foundation. Ningzhu quickly closed the spirit box, clutching the flowing clouds and streaming water talisman, standing still for quite a while. The dragon turtle fire spirit found Ningzhu again. Little master, little master, I am the dragon turtle fire spirit. Its tone seemed very weak. That Zhuxuanji wants to cause trouble again. Now, he wants to use the demon beast tied to explore the golden furnace in the gourd forest. Little master, little spirit had probably told you before, right? Yuan Dasheng was used to make a mechanism, using up one golden furnace. If Zhuxuanji discovers this, the dragon turtle fire spirit revealed a hint of excitement, continuing in its weak voice. Little master is decisive, extraordinary. Let us collaborate now, use the 5 elements turret, and give them a fierce blow. Ningzhu was touched. Why is the dragon turtle fire spirit so anxious? The golden furnace. Number 5 golden furnace used on Yuan Dasheng. Number 3 golden furnace is the big snake scythe. Number 4 golden furnace was used by my mother. The problem lies in number 1 and number 2 golden furnaces. There must be some undercover trick by the dragon turtle fire spirit here. Ningzhu composed a 2 poem and handed it to Zhuxuanji. Zhuxuanji did not tell Ningzhu the clues he detected, but it did not matter. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan was tracking Zhu Zhen, able to collect first-hand information, enabling Ningzhu to make more accurate judgments. What are they looking for? Related to the dragon turtle fire spirit. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan already had enough spiritual nature to act independently. During Ningzhu's palace examination period, she also constantly conducted reconnaissance. The 3rd round of the palace examination, Meng Kui continuously unleashed water to guide the attacks of the flame demon beast, resulting in most of the lava immortal palace falling, with major decay in the related prohibitions. The Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, was thus able to break into the secret pavilion of transition. Upon seeing Ningzhu scorched by the karmic fire and unable to rise from the ground, Meng Yayan, even devoid of memories, felt endless rage arise from within her heart. She passed by Ning Xiaohui's grandmother. She killed. Sun Lingtong, not recognizing friend from foe, desperately tried to block and protect Ningzhu. Meng Yayan pointed a finger, toppling her. Her spiritual nature slightly trembled, filled with immense tender love as she helped Ningzhu to stand. Mother, Ningzhu softly called. Sun Lingtong's eyes widened in disbelief, his heart immensely shaken. What did I hear? The injuries on his body healed quickly, and the karmic fire in his eyes was purified by the Buddhist light. He abruptly stood up, exclaiming, Little Zhu, you hit it well. Ningzhu gave a bitter smile, about to explain. Be careful, Sun Lingtong cried out. He saw Zhuxuanji charging toward Ningzhu from behind. Ningzhu, having just recovered and still harboring residual karmic fire, couldn't extend his divine sense beyond 3 feet from his body. His senses were slow to recover, and so when he felt a violent wind howling behind his ears, Zhuxuanji was already behind him. Divine skills, golden mountain stance. Divine skills, jade pillar body. Zhuxuanji carried an unmatched might, like a mountain bearing down, its powerful force unstoppable and inevitable. Facing him straight on, Sun Lingtong witnessed such a fierce attack and couldn't help but waver in spirit. Compared to the burly Zhuxuanji, Buddhist physician Meng Yayan seemed frail and slender. She suddenly moved to the side, extending a palm to protect Ningzhu. Divine skills, jade soft flower soft. Divine skills, cloud silk echo. A jade flower blossomed, delicate and beautiful. Clouds quickly formed around, swirling into rolling masses. Zhuxuanji's forceful attack, while formidable, dissolved before Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, the powerful energy gathering into the clouds. In the next moment, the clouds trembled, and the unmatched force rebounded, striking Zhu Xuanji squarely. Unprepared for such a counterattack, Zhu Xuanji was pushed back several steps, once again retreating through the narrow door, leaving the secret chamber where Ningzhu was. What an excellent example of softness overcoming hardness! Zhu Xuanji exclaimed in amazement. He hadn't expected that mere mechanical puppets could display dual divine skills. These two divine skills in coordination matched more harmoniously than Golden Mountain stance and Jade Pillar body in combination. Kill, I shall kill! Zhang Danlian's eyes reflected a fiery red glare. Already in a frenzied state, influenced by his dire fortune, he charged at Ningzhu filled with murderous intent. Seeing this, Zhu Xuanji exclaimed in alarm, "Don't go." Zhang Danlian, holding a mechanical sickle in both hands, recklessly rushed into the narrow door. The mechanical sickle raised high suddenly underwent a transformation, the blade extending like lightning, curving like a crescent, its tip stabbing into Zhang Danlian's forehead, then exiting through the back of his skull. Zhang Danlian's rushing figure slowed, and when he reached in front of Ningzhu, he suddenly dropped to his knees. He still clutched the long handle of the mechanical sickle, his eyes bloodshot and now completely vacant, though his face still bore the expression of wild, frenzied intent to kill. Click, click, click. The mechanical sickle transformed, turning into a giant snake. The giant snake opened its mouth and swallowed Zhang Danlian's corpse entirely. It emitted a joyful, satisfied hiss, then slithered in front of Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, bowing its head voluntarily. Meng Yayan stood sideways, extending a hand to gently stroke the snake's head. The mechanical giant snake flicked its tongue and raised its tail, joyfully swaying, affectionate and obedient. Witnessing this scene, Kai Dun, who had recently arrived along with Zhou Nanjiang and Yang Chanyu, each drew breath in shock. They instantly understood it was all part of a vast conspiracy that had calculated the death of the Zheng family's golden core cultivator. Yang Chanyu realized in shock. Sun Ning's schemes were so deep and sinister. No wonder they were so confident about competing for the position of Immortal Palace Master of the Lava Fairy Palace. In an instant, the mechanical giant snake transformed back into a sickle, held by the Buddhist physician. Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, precisely aimed outside the narrow door and made a light swipe. In that moment, Kai Dun, Zhou Nanjiang, and Zhu Xuanji found themselves enveloped in a dark, rainy night. Desolate, helpless, despair, vastness. The illusion was fleeting. Kai Dun's neck splattered with blood, a huge wound nearly decapitating him. He hastily backed away, clutching his head, frantically activating his body technique to heal himself. Zhou Nanjiang was sent flying, the magic treasure that protected his body cleaved in two, shocking him to the core. A fierce golden light burst around Zhu Xuanji, the golden mountain nearly split into 4 parts by a diagonal blow. The golden branches and jade leaves on the mountain, swept by a hurricane, clanged crisply as they largely collapsed. He spat fresh blood, finally steadying himself, then retreating several steps. In his eyes, shades of purple spread. Zhu Xuanji was horrified. Merely facing the front attack from the Buddhist physician and the big snake scythe shouldn't have left him so disheveled. The key moment came when internal and external forces colluded, making his retreat inevitable after a single strike. When did I get hit? He suddenly remembered. Was it when I traced back the origin and peered into the past of the golden furnace, affected by the purple, and thought I had eradicated it? Yang Chanyu's face turned deathly pale, frightened. She stepped back several paces. Though she was unharmed, the ordeal was terrifying. "Boss, let's go," Ningzhu said to Sun Lingtong, still clearly weakened. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan then escorted the two to the front door. The Golden Core cultivators, startled by the strike, remained frozen, some healing, some observing. Ningzhu knew too well his own condition. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan's spiritual nature had just deployed 2 divine skills, draining much energy. Utilizing the big snake scythe to its full extent was like adding frost to snow. Fortunately, his tactic of bluffing was effective, leaving their adversaries unsettled. Anyone who steps through this door be slain. Stepping in front of the large door, Ningzhu glanced back weakly, leaving behind this remark. No one in the audience responded. Ningzhu, Sun Lingtong, and Buddhist physician Meng Yayan stepped into the main hall together. Meng Chong and the others were fixed in place, unable to move. Zhou Zeshan and Zhou Zhu had already lost all signs of life. Meng Chang had reached the front of the throne. Clearly, a life-and-death struggle had taken place. Ning Zi and Ning Zioran fell behind. They had fled in here, scared after witnessing Meng Yayan's demonic power. Like statues, they were all fixed in place. Meng Chang was already bending down, facing the throne, about to sit down. But that minor gap was like a chasm, lying before him. Divine power, life-hanging thread. Once Ning Zhu had recovered slightly, he fully activated this divine power. Among those present, who hadn't he planted with the hanging thread? Even Meng Chang. He had been under Ning Zhu's life-hanging thread since the soul entering Immortal Palace, struggling against the golden blood battle ape Dabai. It was because of this that Ning Zhu could sense Meng Chang's movements precisely during the prior crucial opportunities, amidst the influx of low-ranking cultivators and initiate pursuit. It was because of this that the dragon turtle fire spirit understood deeply that Meng Chang simply could not defeat Ning Zhu. With a life-hanging divine power capable of fighting cross-level, Ning Zhu, possessing a foundation establishment cultivation, could theoretically threaten a golden core cultivator. Not to mention dealing with Meng Chang. Spare my life, spare me, Ning Zhu. I was wrong, I just made a mistake, I was blinded by lard. I swear from now on I will never oppose you. Ning Zioran, unable to move, blurted out in panic. Little Zhu, I'm your own uncle. If you kill me, are you not afraid of verbal and written condemnation? Ning Zi glared, unable to hide the terror in his voice. Ning Zhu paid no attention to them, a cold light flickering in his eyes. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, with a face full of disgust, flicked a finger. Two crisp sounds that nearly merged into one. The heads of Ning Zioran and Ning Zi exploded, just like watermelons hitting the ground. Then, their headless bodies fell to the ground. Meng Chang stared in death. He could only use his peripheral vision to catch a glimpse of Ning Zhu and the others approaching. Netherworld envoy Qi Bai took the lead, reaching Meng Chang's back first. He reached out to grab Meng Chang's neck, pulling backwards, yanking out Meng Chang's soul. He subdued the soul, compressing it into a sphere, holding it in his palm. Then he slowly stepped back, slightly bowed to open a path for Ning Zhu. The dragon turtle fire spirit did not appear. It contracted, hiding extremely well, mainly focusing on remotely controlling the 10,000-li traveling dragon, hiding everywhere, evading Zhu Zhen's pursuit. All that happened in the main hall remained within its observation. But what could it do? Despair was dragging it into the abyss. Boom. A muffled sound echoed, and everyone looked back. Zhu Xuanji, coated in golden light, suppressed his injuries and rushed over again in haste. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, wielding the big snake scythe, stepped forward to meet Zhu Xuanji. On her left and right, Netherworld envoy Qi Bai and weather balloon ice crystal snow were ready to coordinate. The fierce battle unfolded in the next moment. While Zhu Xuanji was being held off, Ning Zhu walked to the front of the throne. With a casual glance, Meng Chang's body naturally fell to the side, like a statue. Ning Zhu stepped over his body, faced the throne, then turned around and slowly sat down. This simple action, however, held extraordinary significance. The struggle for the position of Lava Fairy Palace Master had thus been decided. The third round of the palace trial is over. The new master entry standard, all others utterly disqualified. The message spread, and Zhu Xuanji was taken aback. So it turns out Ning Zhu is the entry standard. In front of the secret pavilion door, golden core cultivators hesitating whether to rush into the main hall all stopped in their tracks. Alas, Zhu Xuanji has also failed. Who would have thought that in the end, the Lava Fairy Palace would be won over by the Bukong sect? Their arrangements here are too deep. The entire Zheng family has been played. That night rain demon weapon is too vicious. Everyone's fighting spirit was lost. Shazhang Jun, left with only his upper body, stared at the door as if in a daze. He had faced such a door before, only the requirement was to piece together the correct demon-infused bloodline technique. It turns out, I was only a step away from breaking through the secret pavilion of transition. The demon-infused bloodline technique. Ah! Why didn't I acquire that cultivation technique? Shazhang Jun was filled with extreme regret. Little Zhu, you finally succeeded, you've become the palace master. Sun Lingtong looked at Ning Zhu sitting on the throne, feeling a whirlwind of emotions, overwhelming relief and joy almost bringing him to tears. Little Zhu, it hasn't been easy for you to get to this point, remarked Sun Lingtong. Yet Ning Zhu shook his head. No, I haven't completely succeeded yet. He leaned against the chair back, stroking the armrests on both sides, savoring the various tactile sensations, reminiscing about when his mother was alive, leveraging her work as a commander to enter the main hall, sit on the throne, and stealthily usurp part of the palace master's authority. What must that scene, those feelings have been like? There are many such descriptions in the Lava Fairy Palace essence. Meng Yayan, seated on the throne, could remotely control several mechanical structures, including the medical hall and gourd fire furnace forest. At that moment, Ningzhu sat upon the throne and became the true palace master, sensing all the mechanical constructs of the Lava Fairy Palace. Yet, it was precisely this full awareness that made him understand just how terribly bad the state of the Lava Fairy Palace had become. Nearly all the important mechanisms and buildings had ceased to exist, leaving only the central main hall. The outer and inner rings of the Lava Fairy Palace had been almost completely submerged by a tidal wave of demon beasts, with only the main hall remaining, where cultivators were gathered, numbly and desperately holding this last line of defense. If the whole Lava Fairy Palace were to be at 100%, then at least 70% had collapsed and become detached. The scale of the losses is unbearable to witness. Rather than rebuilding, it might be better to construct a new mechanical palace. To repair and rebuild would be a bottomless pit, the irony of fate. 14 years of longing and waiting, 14 years of hidden endurance and planning, and in the end it was nothing but the ruin of a mechanism. Ningzhu chuckled and executed a cultivation technique, the Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra. Flames suddenly arose, spreading quickly and fiercely enveloping the throne in a tight embrace, burning and refining it with fervor. Sun Lingtong exclaimed in shock, "Little Zhu, what are you doing?" Ningzhu had already stood up, continuing to command the fire technique while carrying Meng Chang's body and moving away from the throne. He watched as the throne burned and explained to Sun Lingtong, "The fall of the Lava Fairy Palace is imminent. The cremation of the throne is my true objective." Sun Lingtong did not understand. He was unaware that Meng Yayan had spent countless times sitting on the throne, pushing her studies of its flaws, pouring her heart and soul into it. Just as refining, Ning Ziohui added to the spiritual nature of the flowing clouds and streaming water talisman. Melting the throne of the immortal palace would inevitably produce spiritual nature, enhancing the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan. Indeed. Ningzhu joyfully saw the throne melting away, with faint glimmers of spiritual nature appearing like fireflies in the night. The dragon turtle fire spirit could no longer hide. It revealed its dragon turtle shape. Ningzhu, stop this at once. Stop it. If you destroy the throne, you will only prolong your mother's suffering for a short while. Without the throne, if the Lava Fairy Palace falls and the flame beast tide overwhelms it, the whole situation will collapse. Without this bulwark, the demon beast tide will sweep down the mountain and slaughter the city's inhabitants. You will create boundless slaughter. Laden with such sin, it will not only disadvantage your cultivation, but you will be plagued with a lifetime of misfortune, miseries following you, loathed by heaven and earth, making it impossible for you to make a step forward. Have you not just suffered from karmic fire scorching your body? Can you imagine that pain magnified 100,000 times? Can you bear it? The urgency in the dragon turtle fire spirit's voice could not be ignored, because should this great collapse happen and sins be committed, it too, as an accessory, could not escape a dire fate. As long as my mother regains spiritual nature. Humph. Ningzhu's face was full of cold determination. The dragon turtle fire spirit cried out in despair, flames rising from its entire body. Sun Lingtong quickly stood by Ningzhu's side, warily eyeing the dragon turtle fire spirit. The dragon turtle fire spirit pleaded desperately. Ningzhu turned a deaf ear. Zhu Xuanji was shocked and enraged, feeling intense animosity towards Ningzhu for the first time. "Ningzhu," he roared like thunder, "do not step forward, you'll ruin your life. Creating a massacre throughout the city, you will become a fugitive wanted by the kingdom, and the forces of the righteous path will join together to hunt you down." He rushed forward recklessly, rather taking a strike from the big snake scythe, allowing his left arm to be nearly severed but gripping the scythe tightly. The power of the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, was clearly no match for Zhu Xuanji. She struggled to break free. Zhu Xuanji let out a long cry. Divine power, golden intent to recall the troops. Golden intent smeared over the big snake scythe, rapidly spreading over its surface, crystallizing into swathes of gold, sealing it. Not waiting for the seal to complete, Zhu Xuanji let go of the big snake scythe and broke away, charging at Ning Zhuo. The Netherworld envoy, Qi Bai, Miss Rudy, and the weather balloon ice crystal snow acted together in an attempt to intercept. But Zhu Xuanji fainted and neared the throne, reaching out to grab a treasure. It was the golden phoenix mirror. This mirror, originating from the Lava Fairy Palace, was one of the preferred tools for managing mechanical artifacts. With the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan's body being a mechanical Buddha doctor, she was restrained by the golden phoenix mirror. As expected, when Zhu Xuanji shone the mirror's light, under the glare of the mirror, the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan's speed greatly reduced, movements becoming stiff. Meng Yayan decisively let go, the big snake scythe turning from scythe to snake, lunging at Zhu Xuanji. The golden phoenix mirror in Zhu Xuanji's hand was not as effective against the night rain demon soldiers. Where Kai Dun, Zhou Nanjiang, and the rest? Zhu Xuanji struggled against the snake mechanism, temporarily unable to stop Ning Zhuo, frustration boiling over. The dragon turtle fire spirit suddenly cried out, "Ning Zhuo, do you know what the trio of great masters said when they established the Immortal Palace to guard Fire Persimmon Mountain? Golden Furnace red fire to refine spirits, Immortal Palace Burial Mountain to aid all beings. I advised the Southern Emperor not to cling to the past, as old affections dissipate like smoke before dust. Every being suffers from the heaviness of ignorant desires, believing themselves to be the puppet's master. In great compassion lies the truest form of love. Putting down obstacles is the path to enlightenment. I understand now, I see it all clearly." The warning from the great masters was not only for the past Southern Emperor, but for you too. You must no longer stubbornly refuse to see. Haven't these 14 years been full of pain for you? Let go, let it all go. For 14 years, the Lava Fairy Palace has been your biggest puppeteer. Put down your obsession, put down your spiritual barrier. You must learn to be compassionate. Compassion is the greatest form of love. Ning Zhu slowly shook his head. Why should I seize the Immortal Palace? For my mother, I alone shall bear the towering sins. You can't bear it, Zhu Xuanji bellowed in anger, encircled by the mechanical giant snake. For your selfish desires, slaughtering millions, what kind of demon path is this? If you do it, I will never forgive you. Little Zhuo. Sun Lingtong's face was full of worry. He knew very well the nature of Ning Zhuo. If it ultimately led to the city being overwhelmed by demon beasts, Ning Zhuo's future would be bleak. He himself would feel boundless guilt. All because Ning Zhuo, from beginning to end, considered himself a person of the righteous path. The throne was melted by more than half, and the flames quickly weakened. Noticing this scene, Zhu Xuanji and Sun Lingtong's expressions slightly relaxed. However, the dragon turtle fire spirit burst into laughter, fixating on the space above Ning Zhuo's head. Ning Zhuo, you can't do it, you can't do it. Although you are the city lord, you are only one of the three powers. You endanger the Lava Fairy Palace, violating the initial intention of the three founders' descent into the Fairy Palace. The life-hanging thread in the Fairy Palace is stopping you. Stop it. This is the arrangement of the three founders. You and I are but mere insects and weeds. How can we compare with the three founders? Blood streamed from Ning Zhuo's 7 orifices as he suddenly widened his eyes. Why not? He defiantly shouted, lifting his head to gaze into the sky. I refuse to be that puppet on the stage. Do you know how much I detest, how much I abhor this stage called the Lava Fairy Palace, this puppet show taking place here? Even if it grants me more achievements, I'd rather not have it, if only to exchange for even a day of my mother's lifespan. Ning Zhuo's voice was hoarse, his eyes almost splitting. He suddenly reached out his hand, and with a snap, he actually grasped the life-hanging thread above his head. He pulled fiercely, causing the thick life-hanging thread to deform severely. The dragon turtle fire spirit drew a sharp breath, but soon realized that though the thread had deformed severely, it was incredibly tenacious. In angry surprise, it jeered, Ning Zhuo, you're too naive. The life-hanging thread is not something you can just tear apart at will. Stubborn in his belief, Ning Zhuo pulled with all his strength. Inside the divine ocean Danshan, white lotuses as pristine as jade, translucent and lustrous, green leaves like emerald, lush and dripping, pink lotuses like rosy clouds, charming and captivating. The life-hanging divine power transformed into lotuses and leaves trembled slightly, spouting mysterious light. The mysterious light surged, shooting straight beyond the clouds, penetrating his body, and corroding the fairy palace's life-hanging thread above Ningxiu's head. In an instant, Ningxiu was enlightened. His hair disheveled, his face smeared with blood, he let out a fierce laugh, chanting loudly. 5 Qi connect the spirit, the blood tendons are born, 3 sects unite, foundation is established. 16 winters and summers endured in harsh determination, thousands of tribulations make the will deeper. Affections and reason intertwine, pulling the strings, all living beings bowing to eternally servant. No need to resolve the deep-seated heart demon, the persistent millennium questions the glory. I never let go. I insist on being persistent. Who can command me? Not even the 3 founders. I should be the one manipulating passions and reasoning, making all creatures bow as servants. Ah, 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 ah. Ningxiu roared loudly, his state like a frenzied demon. He fiercely clung to the life-hanging thread, exerting all his strength, mana, spirit, and will. Snap! Even though Zhu Xuanji and Sun Lingtong, who couldn't see the thread, had heard a faint noise, in the view of the dragon turtle fire spirit, it was the life-hanging thread torn into 2 pieces. The dragon turtle fire spirit's mouth gaped open, its pupils bulging as if they were about to pop out. Amidst extreme shock, it suddenly recalled an afternoon several hundred years ago. That afternoon when it encountered the 3 founders. The dragon turtle fire spirit, compressed extremely small, looked up at the 3 founders, as mere mortals or ants gaze up at huge pillars and the Buddha. The 3 founders slowly spoke. 800 years later, the slaughtering calamity of heaven and earth will unfold, sweeping across the universe, blood drifting like chaff, corpses strewn everywhere. Runaway fire snake, you inherently carry heavy sins. From now on, you serve as the palace spirit, control the immortal palace guarding Persimmon Fire Mountain. As long as afterwards, Persimmon Fire Mountain is harmonious, without chaos and slaughter and the innocent spared. Just needing 720 years, you shall clear your congenital sins and break free from your turtle shell, truly possessing the spirit of a Jiao dragon. The dragon turtle fire spirit trembled violently, communicating secretly with the spirituality of the 3 founders. It roared, 720 years. That's too long, better to kill me. The 3 founders transmitted a message. 720 is not fixed. During this period, if you ever encounter someone who can tear his own life-hanging thread, then follow him. Because those who can tear their own certainly can tear yours as well. Hundreds of years later, at this very moment, the dragon turtle fire spirit looked up at Ningxiu, sensing from the latter an imposing aura akin to that of the 3 founders. The flames surged more fiercely than before. Only a third of the throne remained. The dragon turtle fire spirit let out a low growl and charged into the flames, allowing its spiritual body to be burnt to ashes. Ningxiu, stop it. Zhu Xuanji, regardless of everything else, temporarily ceased suppressing the Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, turned the mirror face around, and aimed it at Ningxiu. A white light burst forth from Ningxiu's body, enveloping him. It was indeed the protective talisman given to him earlier by Ning Jiufan and others. The next moment, the Buddha heart demon seal suddenly flew out, arrived beside Ningxiu, paused briefly, and then directly entered his divine ocean. In the next instant, a layer of Buddha's light surged up, protecting Ningxiu from the mirror light. This time, it was Zhu Xuanji's turn to bulge his eyes in utter shock. The Buddha heart demon seal. He had never forgotten the last words of the Southern Bean Supreme Emperor he received in the royal capital. The Buddha heart demon seal is no trifling matter. The consequences are significant. Lava Fairy Palace is definitely not a place the 3 nascent soul elders of old have casually set up. He always remembered the warnings the current monarch of the Southern Bean had given him. In his later years, the 3 nascent soul elders placed the Lava Fairy Palace within the Persimmon Mountain for deep and unfathomable reasons. In your journey, do not act forcefully and abruptly. Let things take their natural course, and do not disturb the well-thought intentions of the 3 nascent soul elders. Zhu Xuanji's heart shuddered. The Buddha heart demon seal is recognizing its master on its own. Could it be that Ningxiu is the successor that the 3 nascent soul elders had been preparing and waiting for? He could use the golden phoenix mirror because it originally came from the Southern Bean Supreme Emperor. Although he had presented it before, the precious mirror had not been reconsecrated and still served his purpose. But the Buddha heart demon seal. In Zhu Xuanji's view, this was Ningxiu's first encounter with it. Even if, Even if Ningzhu's situation was the same as Zhu Xuanji's, obtaining the Buddha Heart Demon Seal itself meant something significant. Atop Persimmon Mountain Peak, deep in the clouds, Meng Qiu's face was ashen, and his tone was chilling. Finally, the time has come. He had painstakingly controlled the situation, leveraging 3 nascent soul-level demon beasts to continuously weaken the Lava Fairy Palace. And finally, now was the time he could make his full move. Since the palace was blasted into the world, Meng Qiu had been entrenched at the Cloud Peak. He had been sitting there for several months. This moment he had waited too long. He stood up and floated down. He took out the seal and aimed it at the head of the flame-stepping lizard, smashing it down. Boom! A loud noise erupted. The flame-stepping lizard's head was smashed open, brains splattering everywhere. Still not dead, it retreated in full panic. Sleeves holding the universe. His sleeves burst forth with a terrifying suction force, drawing in the nascent soul runaway fire snake and temporarily suppressing it. Mystery in the palm. Meng Qiu made a full-force swing. Mana Power Hand slapped ferociously, sending the nascent soul demon ape flying crashing to the ground. Just as he was about to deliver the finishing blow, Ning Jiufan took a risk and moved faster, capturing the demon ape. Meng Qiu had long known that the palace lord's position had fallen to someone with just the entry standards. Pressed for time, he decided not to quarrel with Ning Jiufan for now. He waved his Mana Power Hand, lifting the main hall's roof off. "This farce should end now." Meng Qiu, his face ashen, floated down. The throne was completely burned away, its spiritual nature all absorbed into the Buddhist physician. Meng Qiu snorted coldly. His divine sense maneuvered the Mana Power Hand, grabbing for Ning Zhuo. The next moment, Zhu Xuanji, as if possessed by a ghost, shifted the mirror face, catching the Mana Power Hand. "Huh!" Meng Qiu stared at Zhu Xuanji, his face stern with cold. Sun Lingtong grabbed Ning Zhu's hand, trying to use the teleportation art to escape with him. He was well aware, though, that in the face of a nascent soul cultivator, using such a minor art, the chance of escape was almost zero. Ning Zhu patted Sun Lingtong's hand, smiling. "Boss, don't rush. Don't forget I follow the righteous path." With that, he shook his sleeve, bowed deeply to Meng Qiu, and respectfully offered. "City Lord, sir, this humble Ning Zhu is willing to hand over the position of City Lord to you." Zhu Xuanji suddenly turned his head to look at Ning Zhu. Sun Lingtong's eyes widened as he too turned to look at Ning Zhu. Meng Qiu halted his steps, staring intently at Ning Zhu. Dead silence fell over the area. Ning Zhu broke the silence. "This humble one is weak in cultivation and low in capability. Facing this perilous situation, only you, City Lord, sir, have the ability to turn things around and uphold a collapsing building. This position of Lava Fairy Palace Master is most suitable for no one other than you, City Lord, sir." Sun Lingtong glanced at the composed Ning Zhu and then at where the throne had been. Nothing but a pit remained. Finally, his gaze shifted to Meng Qiu. Meng Qiu looked at Ning Zhu, then at the body of Meng Chong in Ning Zhu's hands, and at Qi Bai, the netherworld envoy who sealed Meng Chong's soul. Finally, he looked at Zhu Xuanji. As if waking from a dream, Zhu Xuanji, with a solemn face, said, "Ning Zhu, responding to the recruitment decree, volunteering to abdicate for the better worthy, is truly a hero of the Southern Bean. Given the current situation, I am powerless too. Only you, Lord Meng Qiu, as a nascent soul, can suppress the beast tide and protect the citizens. In fact, this is exactly the responsibility of a fire persimmon immortal city lord." Meng Qiu's eye twitched at last. At this moment, he thought of the omen poem he had deduced. Good or evil, the rise and fall all in a thought. A new lord stabilizes the populace and fills the old void. Damn it! So it was this, good or evil, the rise and fall all in a thought. It was this, a new lord stabilizes the populace and fills the old void. Bloody hell. End of Volume 1. Ning family, council hall. The spirit light lamp emitted a bright light. All the family elders gathered here, but both the main seat and the position to the left of it were empty. The Ning family clan leader and the young clan leader had perished. The elders had grim expressions and were in poor spirits as they discussed governmental affairs. The flame beast tide besieging the Lava Fairy Palace has retreated by 60%. In a few days, the flame demon beast around Fire Persimmon Immortal City will also begin to withdraw. By then, the City Lord's mansion should issue notices, not only to provide disaster relief and clear the wilderness of demon beasts, but to take control of the frontier border posts, which is where we should intervene. The words of the Talisman Hall elder immediately gained the agreement of most. 4 days had passed since Ningzhuo voluntarily relinquished the position of Palace Master to Meng Qi. In fact, on the day Meng Qi became the Palace Master, 3 nascent soul cultivators joined forces, with Zhu Xuanji and Shazhang Jun and others launching a counterattack, slaughtering uncountable numbers and directly quelling the rampant aura of the flame demon beasts. Those 3 nascent soul cultivators were naturally Meng Qi, Meng Hu, and a cultivator from Taking Palace. The cultivator from Taking Palace initially sought an opportunity to take over Lava Fairy Palace under the pretext that his disciple had been mistakenly killed by the Zheng family. After Meng Qi became the Palace Master, he actively performed his duties, making the nascent soul from Taking Palace immediately realize that his plot had failed and his plan was ruined. Looking at Meng Hu and Meng Qi, he gritted his teeth. What formidable figures the 2 generals of the Meng family are. Meng Hu's gaze was stern, his attention mostly focused on the fate shield in the hands of the Taking Palace nascent soul. This night rain demon weapon was indeed strong. Despite struggling for a long time, he saw no hope of breaking the shield, but instead, he got counterattacked, covered in wounds, and the potency of any defensive measures was diminished. Meng Qi smiled, indicating that he would not make the Taking Palace nascent soul leave empty-handed. He would hand over the entire Zheng family. This surprised the Taking Palace nascent soul, who then inquired in detail and learnt the only 2 golden core ancestors of the Zheng family had perished, as well as central figures like Zheng Hua and young talents like Zheng Jian. He immediately understood why Meng Qi would entrust him with the Zheng family. Without the strength to defend itself, the Zheng family was nothing but a pawn that could be sacrificed at any time. After understanding the details, the attitude of the Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator softened. I need the corpses of the Zheng family double golden core. Meng Qi nodded, saying meaningfully, Zheng Danlian can be given to you, but Zheng Xuangu has already been killed by a demon cultivator, and his corpse is missing. The Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator responded, just the corpse of Zheng Danlian alone is not enough. Meng Qi gave a cold laugh. No rush. After we kill those 2 demon cultivators, I'll retrieve Zheng Xuangu's corpse for you as well. The ones who killed Zheng Xuangu were indeed the 2 golden cores from Taking Palace, only disguised as black shadow demon cultivators. The momentum of the Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator faltered, and he had to take a step back, further softening his stance and negotiating with Meng Qi through spiritual communication. He indeed needed the captives from the Zheng family to report back to his sect. Without collaborating with Meng Qi, he would not acquire Zheng Danlian's corpse. Moreover, he would be expelled by the 2 nascent soul cultivators from the Meng family, which would be very humiliating. After reaching a partial agreement, Zhu Xuanji also ascended into the sky, representing the Southern Bean royal family and expressing the sincerity of cooperation. If the Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator could assist, it would be regarded as a great contribution, and he would receive a generous reward from the Southern Bean Kingdom. Just like that, the 2 sides, which were fiercely battling moments ago, ceased fighting and made peace. The Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator, along with Meng Qi and Meng Hu, jointly swept through the battlefield, leaving the bodies of flame demon beasts littering the ground. The 3 nascent souls amongst the flame demon beasts, either dead or injured, the flame-stepping lizard with a hole in its head, fled in a miserable state. The runaway fire snake was restrained by Meng Qi. The demon ape fell into a coma. The flame demon beasts suffered heavy casualties, but lacking intelligence, driven by death and bloodshed, their ferocity remained unabated as they continued to attack relentlessly. First, the 3 nascent souls easily regained lost territory, then counterattacked into the magma, fighting until deep within Persimmon Mountain Peak, battle-weary from their efforts before they finally ceased. During this time, another nascent soul-level flame demon beast, enraged, fought the 3 nascent soul cultivators and retreated with serious injuries. Meng Hu pursued it, only to see the demon beast escaping deep into the boundless fire poison and geothermal heat, then reluctantly returned. Without the support of a nascent soul-level demon beast king, The elite ranks of the Golden Core level demon beasts naturally suffered heavy losses. However, the continuous intervention of the nascent soul cultivators meant that the flame beast tide was relentless, continuing until the third head, a flame demon beast, emerged from Persimmon Mountain Peak, showing a significant reduction. After such extensive killing, we have accrued a great sin against heaven. After returning to the palace, I will fast for 7 days and nights, bathing in the pure qi to cleanse myself of the slaughter and blood qi. The taking palace nascent soul cultivator sighed, before ceasing to act further. Meng Kui ceased immediately as well. Only Meng Hu continued to strike around, fighting intensely, howling towards the sky as his howls disturbed the wind and clouds, enveloping the entire Persimmon Mountain. The flame beast tide was suppressed by the collaborative efforts of the 3 nascent soul cultivators. The Ning family elders continued discussing various family affairs, accounting for losses, repairing the sect's defensive magic arrays, strictly distributing consolation money. Eventually, they had no choice but to discuss a topic that no one in the hall wanted to face. Ning Zhu poses the real threat to us. This time, he plans to publicly hold a ritual for the clan members who died in battle. Should we really not stop him? Ning Qinkeo, who brought up the topic, possessed innate frost descent silent talent and foundation establishment cultivation. Normally, he wouldn't qualify to discuss such matters. However, with the beast siege, not only had the clan leader died, but some family elders also perished. There were vacancies at the top of the family hierarchy, and that's how Ning Qinkeo was promoted, becoming a new face in the council hall. The elders all fell silent. The academy elder sighed deeply. State affairs only concern military and rights. The same goes for our family. Ning Qinkeo immediately responded. This time, if we really let Ning Zhu host the public ritual, I fear the hearts of our branch family members might fully lean towards him. With this increase and decrease, how can we contend with the branch families in the future? The family elders all frowned. This was not because they lacked a broader perspective, but because they were all familiar with governmental affairs and fully aware of the current situation. The main and branch families were like a lever supported in the middle by their blood kinship. If one side went up, the other went down. It was either the east wind overpowers the west wind, or the west wind overpowers the east wind. The side that was suppressed would be continuously bled by the more advantageous side, making the weaker weaker and the strong stronger. The battle hall elder spread his hands. Ning Zhuo has already become the clan leader of the branch family, and this even has the approval of our ancestors. There's no turning back now. Although he's just a middle-stage qi refinement small cultivator, his identity is high enough. No problem officiating the sacrifices in public. How can we stop it? A moment of silence followed among the group. Ning Zhuo, alas. Who could have expected such a freak to emerge from our family's branches? Months ago, I would never have imagined that my great Ning family would be split in two over a mere 16-year-old junior from a branch. HMPH, it would have been impossible without the emergence of the Lava Fairy Palace. Seeing that the family elders were all superficial, Ning Qinkeo felt restless. HMPH, since we can't stop it on the front end, then we should implement some covert actions. If Ning Zhu's sacrifice is unsuccessful, or the scene ugly, it will surely damage his prestige and secure some advantages for our main Ning family line. Right after Ning Qinkeo finished speaking, he suddenly changed his expression drastically, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood, and fell off his seat, kneeling on the ground. The family elders were shaken and tried to get up, but were fiercely pressed down in their seats by an immense force. In the principal seat of the Ning family clan leader, Ning Jiufan suddenly appeared. He coldly swept his gaze across the hall and rebuked, "We are all derived from the same Ning family source, yet you dare to fight among yourselves. With such mindset, how can our family flourish?" "Ancestor," the family elders called out, trying to exonerate themselves while some tried to distance themselves, saying this was only Ning Qinkeo's personal view and did not represent theirs. Ning Qinkeo, hearing these statements, spit out another mouthful of blood in anger. Ning Jiufan sharply criticized everyone, finally turned to Ning Qinkeo, and directly stripped him of his elder status, forcing him to face the wall and reflect deeply for 3 years. After dealing with the situation, Ning Jiufan left directly. The family elders finally regained their ability to move, sweating profusely, as if reborn. Looking at Ning Qingqiao, they sneered in their hearts. Being an elder wasn't just about having strength, but also brains. Yet they couldn't help but feel a sense of shared sorrow. Even a talented individual like Ning Qingqiao ended up like this. They, the elders without any innate talents fighting against Ning Zhuo, would definitely end up worse than Ning Qingqiao. I agree with Ning Zhuo presiding over the sacrifices. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, he is a genius of our clan. It's great that such an outstanding junior could step forward and take responsibility. This is a sign of prosperity and growth for our Ning family. I think on the day of his sacrifice, we should show our support. Agreed. I approve. Seconded. Seeing the family elders react this way, Ning Qingqiao felt so furious that he saw blackness before his eyes. The ancestor is partial, he wailed and fainted on the spot. The rest of the family elders deeply agreed with Ning Qingqiao's grievances, but acted as if they hadn't heard his words at all. Ning Jiufan sighed deeply. Though he had left, his divine sense still enveloped the council hall. If the elders of the Ning family main line knew the true nature of the Lava Fairy Palace, they would deeply understand Ning Jiufan. The final demonstration of strength by Ning Zhuo was truly shocking to Ning Jiufan. The Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, who could directly confront Zhu Xuanji. Miss Rudy, capable of deploying a quasi-golden core-level formation. Heavy Blood Ape, Netherworld Envoy Chi-Bai, and Weather Balloon Ice Crystal Snow. With these mechanical artifacts by his side, who would still regard Ning Zhuo merely as a middle-stage small Qi refinement cultivator. Such mighty strength, now even surpassing Ning Jiufan himself. And when Ning Zhuo dealt with Zhu Xuanji and Meng Qi, the tactics he displayed made Ning Jiufan recognize and seriously acknowledge him. He regretted not recognizing Ning Zhuo's excellence earlier, which he ended up courting too late. He also secretly rejoiced that Ning Zhuo had chosen to split from the main line, not staying to bring trouble to it. With his skills, schemes, and frightening strength on the righteous path, who in the main line could match him? Hadn't he seen the clan leader and young clan leader of the Ning family die right before him? Ning Jiufan's public support for Ning Zhuo, strongly backing him, was actually to protect the main Ning family line. After all, he had once promised to protect these descendants. By dealing with Ning Qingqiao, he hoped the latter would fully come to terms with reality, and during his 3 years of reflection, cultivate diligently to potentially provide new energy for the main line of the Ning family. Now, Ning Qingqiao, having suddenly lost his elder status, had become too arrogant. Should Ning Zhuo really take action, his life would be at great risk. Unfortunately, Ning Zhuo, Zhu Xuanji, and Meng Qi had agreed to staunchly guard the final truth about the competition for the Lava Fairy Palace. Although Ning Jiufan was informed afterward, he couldn't reveal this truth either. Since the others didn't know the truth, it was difficult for them to comprehend his well-intentioned plans. Ningzhu's small courtyard. A pair of mechanical arms akin to ice crystals were crystal clear, their curves graceful and beautiful. The fingers were slender and delicate, as round and lustrous as pearls. The talismans on the palms and back of the hands, like ice flowers, exuded an aura of cold purity and sanctity. They were indeed mechanical components, the floating ice white jade hands, the innate ice jade hands. Cold qi enveloped the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, swiftly encasing her in ice. Augment his power, Ningzhu activated a temporary array. The heart of the array was none other than the ice heart jade pot. This was something he had specially borrowed from Ning Jiufan. The combination of the ice jade hands and the ice heart jade pot caused the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, to freeze in a huge block of ice, and rapidly healed the pits and other damages on her body. Moments later, the ice block shattered and melted away, and the Buddhist physician, Meng Yayan, stood up motionless. "How is it?" Sun Lingtong, who had helped manage the array, stepped out, a look of tension coloring his face. Ningzhuo carefully examined the Buddhist physician mechanism and noticed that within Meng Yayan's spiritual nature, a purple light trace still persisted, and her golden core's surface was also blossoming with cloud patterns, replete with purple hints. He slowly shook his head. Sun Lingtong couldn't help but sigh. Ningzhu then consoled him. "Boss, this result is something we had anticipated all along, isn't it? My mother was a golden core cultivator in life and turned into a puppet in death, yet she could still fend off Zhu Xuanji face to face. certainly no ordinary feat. She fell because of these injuries. To think we could resolve the illness that claimed her life with just one magic treasure, a bit of innate skill, that's nearly impossible. Sun Lingtong nodded. Yeah, if it were useful, your mother would have probably taken action long ago, seizing Ning Jiufan's ice heart jade pot to heal herself. No, Ning Jiu shook his head. My mother was a person of the righteous path. How could she possibly rob others without cause? She must have traded or negotiated with the elders of our clan. Sun Lingtong. He couldn't help but mutter inwardly. Based on your mother's actions in the Lava Fairy Palace, she doesn't seem like a good person. But he also understood Ning Jiu very well. In Ning Jiu's eyes, his mother was naturally extraordinary. So Sun Lingtong simply hummed in agreement and said, You're right. Ning Jiu looked at Sun Lingtong, his eyes filled with apology. Boss, I'm sorry, I've concealed a lot from you. Sun Lingtong looked at Ning Jiu in surprise, then quickly waved his hand. Haven't you already apologized? It's all right. He chuckled, resting his hand on the back of his head. Honestly, I had never thought that I was injured back then because of your mother. That's why you saved me. Your mother really did pack a punch, but it was for a reason. Who made me snoop around near your home? No wonder at the final moments of the struggle for the Immortal Palace, I fell under the sway of Chief Fortune and developed feelings of disgust and hatred towards you. On the day Ning Jiu ceded the position of Immortal Palace Master to Meng Qi, he revealed everything to Sun Lingtong in secret. After listening to him, Sun Lingtong finally understood and yelled in anger. You little rascal, keeping so much from me, making me worry about you for nothing. Seeing Ning Jiu with a sincere face, earnestly gazing at him, what could Sun Lingtong do? Of course, he had to forgive him. Now, hearing Ning Jiu apologize again, Sun Lingtong ended up comforting him instead. It's a trivial matter, all these are just minor issues. It was me who kept urging you to keep your secrets, not to let me know. You've done great, little Jiu. Secretive tasks are easier to carry out, while overt ones are harder to accomplish. The reason for your success is precisely because you've kept things well concealed. It's because you could even keep it from me that you were able, despite your weakness, to ultimately surprise and take the greatest prize. Such a valuable habit must be maintained. Ning Jiu quickly agreed that he would continue to do so, and praised Sun Lingtong for his excellent teachings. Sun Lingtong, with hands on his hips and a smug look, chuckled and scolded. You think sucking up to me will make me happy, you rascal. He had nurtured Ning Jiu, one might say raised him single-handedly. This brotherly, almost paternal experience and sentiment left him without any jealousy. He felt genuine pride and relief for any achievements that Ning Jiu accomplished. At that moment, Ning Chen arrived at the door to report that the transfer of the Zheng family's clan land had been completed. Sun Lingtong spoke solemnly. All right, it's time for me to handle some proper business. I'll go with Yang Chanyu to sweep through the Zheng family's clan land again, to see if we can find any hidden storages. If we discover any loopholes, we'll come back and tell you. Originally, during Ning Jiu's agreement with Meng Qi and Zhu Xuanji, they had divided the Zheng family. According to the agreement, the Zheng family's clan land would be transferred to Ning Jiu, becoming part of the Ning family's branches. Sun Lingtong left quietly. On the surface, Ning Jiu had already cut ties with Sun Lingtong and the Bukong sect, so it was necessary to avoid any hint of collusion. This state of division had to thank Zhu Xuanji for his assurance, which had sunk deep into people's hearts. Even at the very last moment, it was the entry-level standard that had gained entry to the Immortal Palace, letting Shazhang Jun and others in on the information. In their view, the entry-level standard was Sun Lingtong, not even considering it might be Ning Jiu. Furthermore, many golden core cultivators were still residing in the secret pavilion of transition. Even if people like Kai Dun and Zhou Nanjiang arrived, they were wary of the big snake scythe's ferocity and did not use the main gate to teleport into the main hall. This provided a huge premise for Ning Jiu and the other two to agree in private to keep their secrets. Of course, there were flaws. For instance, when Meng Qi sent the main hall's roof flying, the situation inside might well have been detected by outsiders. But that actually didn't matter at all. Even if someone knew, so what? The three parties involved had negotiated and jointly agreed on a story. Whom would the public believe? Even if the public didn't believe Ning Jiu, wouldn't they believe the City Lord's mansion? And if not the City Lord's mansion, wouldn't they believe the divine hunter Zhu Xuanji from the royal family? Even if they didn't believe any of them, what could they do? Could it affect the collaboration of the three parties? Righteous path. It's just like that. Sun Lingtong and Yang Chanyu joined forces, and invisible and hidden, arrived at the Zheng family's estate just in time to see Ning Yang and others replacing the door plaque. The Zheng family's lintel plaque was removed and replaced with that of the Ning family. Such a scene sparked intense discussion among the passers-by in front of the gate. It's changed. It really changed to the Ning family's door plaque. The related rumors were orchestrated and deliberately spread by Ning Zhuo himself. I heard this is the domain of a branch of the Ning family. Did you know? The branch's clan leader is actually Ning Zhuo. Ning Zhuo, I think I've heard that name before. He is a genius of the Ning family, very young, only 16. What's the situation? How much cultivation can a 16-year-old have? Only at the middle level of qi refinement. With that level of cultivation, he can be the leader of a clan. What's his background? Just an ordinary side branch who has been bullied for over a decade. You must have heard of the disputes between the Ning family's main and side branches, right? Then how can he possibly be a clan leader even if it's of a branch? That you don't know. It's a smart move by the Ning family. The Zheng family was taken down, leaving great clan lands unclaimed. The Ning family wanted them, but they already had their own lands and no legitimate reason to claim more. So they split the family. They used that pretext to grab those rich lands. Makes sense. So Ning Zhuo is actually a puppet put in place. Exactly, you've grasped the point. This is insightful. Ning Zhuo was previously put forward to be the black market master, wasn't it the same then? Why didn't the Zhou family do the same and split off? They were just one step too late, didn't react quickly, and let the Ning family take the initiative. The cultivators of the Zhou family are rather old-fashioned, you know this. The pedestrians immersed themselves in this exchange, nodding sagely as they commented. The so-called piercing of the truth was nothing more than self-righteousness, vastly different from the facts. The real division of interests was much more brutal and cold than the public could imagine. The small customs that spread were all polished by the higher echelons of the righteous path. What the public could hear was often what the upper levels wanted them to hear. Righteous path. It's just like that. Sun Lingtong and Yang Chanyu worked together, searching in secret several times, and still, they found no hidden vault, but they did discover quite a few gaps in the arrays. Some were old holes while others had been recently added. Clearly, the city lord's mansion wasn't honest before the handover and had made many modifications. All of this was reported to Ning Zhuo. The arrays of the clan lands needed to be redesigned, various flaws needed to be addressed. Ning Zhuo knew he was about to start his own business. Anyway, his true strength had already been exposed, so it was better to be tough since it would command respect, and all rather than inviting further covetous advances. The greatest advantage of the Zheng family's lands was that their smelting and forging conditions were the best in the entire fire persimmon immortal city. Even the city lord's mansion couldn't match them. On the Zheng family's lands, Ning Zhuo presided over a public sacrifice. He chanted the sacrificial text, moving to tears as he spoke. The heavens weep, the storm clouds lose color, today we gather here to mourn our fallen kin. Ning Zioran, Ning Zi, Ning Xiangyu. In life, you were brave and wise, virtuous and upright, your light shone in all directions, enriching our family and ensuring peace for our neighbors. Alas and alack, today you return to the dust, noble spirits fall to the netherworld. May you rest in peace in the heavens above, protect your descendants, and ensure everlasting peace for the Ning family. As Ning Zhuo finished reciting, everyone in the hall was visibly moved. Amid the white mourning clothes, crying slowly began and the mournful music surged. "My husband, my son!" Wang Lan cried sorrowfully, fainting away. Ning Zhuo was greatly shocked and rushed to her side. Extremely anxious, he bloodlet and administered elixir pills to Wang Lan himself, ultimately reviving her. Such pure filial piety won the admiration of everyone present. Many clan members, unaware of the full story, began to feel a sense of recognition towards him. Such a branch clan leader, even with a lower current level of cultivation, didn't matter. A person of such kindness and filial piety couldn't be far off the mark. Hidden and leaning against a wall, Yang Chanyu, with a face full of scorn, remarked, "Rest in peace. Weren't they killed by him? How can they rest in peace? Hypocrisy." "You little brother are too hypocritical," said Yang Chanyu disdainfully. Sun Lingtong, seated on the wall top, also concealed, rolled her eyes at hearing this. "What do you know? Righteous path is just like this." Several days had passed. In the lands of the Zheng family, ah no, the newly divided lands of the Ning family changed from a white simplicity to a vibrant fire red. The atmosphere of mourning had faded significantly, replaced by one of jubilation that spread throughout. Standing on the high platform, Ningzhu first paid homage to heaven, then to earth, and finally burned spirit money lit joss sticks, informing the ancestors in the netherworld. With him, Ningzhu standing there at that moment, officially declaring the division of the family. Today's division ceremony, with the staunch support of everyone present, my heart is filled with gratitude, forever etched in my memory. From today on, as clan leader, I vow to be diligent and devoted, dedicating myself to the prosperity of our family. The achievements of today were not made overnight, nor could they have been accomplished by one person alone. Here, I must especially commemorate Ning Ziohui, Ning Xianxia, Ning Zioren, and many other martyrs of our family. You spilled your blood on the battlefield, protecting the dignity and safety of our family with your lives. Though your brave souls have departed, your spirit endures. We will remember your grace always in our hearts, vowing to enhance our family, to comfort your spirits in heaven. I shall continue the legacy of our forebears, loyal and unwavering, safeguarding the peace of our family. Against the deceitful Bukong sect and other malefactors, notorious for their evils, I, Ningzhu, vow to share no common sky with them. Any malevolence will be eradicated. I pledge to lead by example, to persevere, and never to retreat. To the elderly and kin of our hometown, whose affection and righteousness weigh heavily, I am endlessly appreciative, constantly filled with gratitude, striving to repay our community. Further, I shall remain loyal and serve both the City Lord's mansion and the Southern Bean Kingdom, with a sincere heart to guard our peace. Thank you all for your great support. May we unite in heart and deed, work together to strengthen our family, and aspire to great achievements. Ningzhu's passionate speech moved many disciples of the Ning family branches to fervent enthusiasm. They had long suffered under the main branch. Among the invited guests who witnessed Ningzhu on the platform, their expressions were complex and indescribable. Some were envious, some jealous, some wary, some disdainful. Following the division ceremony was a grand banquet that hosted various guests. Where once was the land of the Zheng family, now under new leadership. Members of the Zheng family were either imprisoned or had been taken away by the nascent soul cultivators from Taking Palace, while members of the Ning family reveled here with fine wine and dishes, mingling toast after toast. The atmosphere was lively, a blending of rise and decline, yet the cruelty of such shifts in human fortunes sent a chill down the spines of the observant. The seating arrangement was meticulously planned. At the head table, Wang Lan sat at the place of honor. Ningzhu attended her closely, often offering her dishes and showing great care. Wang Lan felt numb, her eating interrupted as she began to sob again. Ningzhu immediately paused his eating and asked softly. Wang Lan was overwhelmed by sadness, lamenting such a wonderful moment as being dreamlike and fantastic. Yet her father and beloved son had fallen in the darkness before dawn, never having experienced this moment, which deeply saddened her. Ningzhu then comforted her earnestly, his words gentle as a soft breeze and fine rain, earning silent praises and sympathies from the witnessing guests. At the table next to the head table sat many widows and orphans. After calming Wang Lan, Ningzhu stepped down from the head table and personally, along with Ning Chen and Ning Yang, began to toast at each table. The first table was the one next to them. The orphans and widows were uneasy until Ningzhu publicly declared that he would never mistreat the families of meritorious servicemen, announcing the establishment of a free academy for these orphans. Such a policy immediately moved the widows to tears, their eyes reddening. Some, along with their children, knelt to express their gratitude, followed by all at the table bowing in thanks. "There is no need for this," exclaimed Ningzhu, his eyes also brimming with tears, as he helped them up one by one to retake their seats. The commotion was so great that it attracted almost everyone's attention. Guests praised him profusely, commenting that despite his young age, Ningzhu truly possessed the qualities of a family leader. Suddenly, the host announced loudly, "The Academy Elder of the Ning Family Academy has arrived with congratulations." This was followed by the recitation of the tribute list. 10,000 top-grade spirit stones, 3,000 pounds of red sun copper, 136 packets of foundation establishment-level earth fiend fire, 80 roots of 200-year-old energetic ginseng. The list was quite lengthy. Ning Zhu quickly stood up, respectfully addressed him as teacher, and welcomed the academy elder to the head table. Out of all the elders of the main branch of the Ning family, the academy elder had the closest relationship with Ning Zhu, who had just graduated from the academy that year. After the academy elder sat down, he held Ning Zhu's hand, his face full of tender smiles, speaking with fervent words. Ning Zhu had no choice but to sit next to the academy elder, exchanging pleasantries with laughter and smiles. Those uninformed might think that the academy elder and Ning Zhu enjoyed a close personal relationship. However, in reality, the academy elder didn't give lectures, and Ning Zhu hadn't seen him more than 10 times in a year. The academy elder's appearance was a goodwill gesture from the Ning family main branch, a welcomed sight for Ning Zhu, suggesting proximity which was beneficial for the future of the newly established division. Ning Zhu understood the reason behind the change of attitude of the Ning family main branch. He wasn't aware of the actions taken by Ning Jiyufan in punishing Ning Qingqiao, where he made an example out of the family elders from the main branch. The elders involved in that incident kept it quiet. Even Ning Qingqiao was no exception. However, Ning Qingqiao's removal from the position of family elder was publicly announced. To strip a family elder of his position is not something other family elders could achieve by joining hands. Currently, with the position of the Ning family clan leader vacant, the intense changes in the elder positions could only originate from Ning Jiyufan. There's no other explanation. Ning Zhu's new division had just been established and currently needed a peaceful external environment. He secretly planned, though it would be possible to challenge the main branch of the Ning family in the future, the most critical task for now was to ensure a stable footing for the division. Zhou Zeshan, the golden core ancestor of the Zhou family, has arrived, announced the host, his voice trembling slightly. After all, this was a golden core level cultivist, one of the second-generation ancestors of the Zhou family. The fact that the founding of the Ning family division attracted such a prominent figure stunned everyone at the banquet, who immediately rose to prepare to greet Zhou Zeshan as he was about to take his seat. The host continued to recite the extensive list of tributes from Zhou Zeshan. 40 Foundation Establishment Level Runaway Fire Snakes, 32 Foundation Establishment Level Spirit Gathering Formation Discs, 446 pounds of Moon Glint Cold Iron. Although Zhou Nanjiang's gift list was much shorter than that of the main branch of the Ning family, each item was significant. This caused everyone to be even more astonished. The Zhou family actually placed such great importance on Ning Zhu's division from the family. Not to mention that a golden core ancestor had taken the initiative to send congratulations. He also presented such generous gifts. It was incomprehensible, truly incomprehensible. This situation was akin to royalty carrying a large sum of money, celebrating for a beggar on their own initiative. In the public's view, just the personal attendance of Zhou Nanjiang already made Ning Zhu shine brightly, a pride for a lifetime. Moreover, not only did Zhou Nanjiang attend, but he also brought along a substantial gift. This is giving too much face to Ning Zhu. Ha ha ha, my family division will flourish and prosper, it's just a matter of time. HMPH, what do you know? Ning Zhu is just a puppet, propped up as a mere formal arrangement. The whole thing is ridiculous. Zhou Nanjiang is clearly trying to curry favor with the old ancestor Ning Jiyufan. You always think you know everything, the guests whispered among themselves, but Zhou Nanjiang never appeared. Instead, Ning Zhu, with an apologetic air, excused himself from the academy elder with a short sprint, heading out of the banquet hall. Clearly, he was going to greet Zhou Nanjiang. The guests craned their necks in anticipation, hoping to see Ning Zhu leading Zhou Nanjiang over. However, left waiting and right waiting brought no sight of them. Upon inquiring, they found out that Ning Zhu had already led Zhou Nanjiang into a private room and would not be joining the public seating. The next moment, a collective sigh revealed everyone's disappointment. Once inside the private room, just with Ning Zhu and Zhou Nanjiang, Ning Zhu straightened his back. His facial expression became more restrained, thanking Zhou Nanjiang in an equal manner for his support. Zhou Nanjiang personally participated in the third round of palace examinations and knew well of Ningzhu's strength. Not to mention other aspects, just Buddhist physician Meng Yayan wielding the big snake scythe made even the second generation of the Zhou family deeply wary. Zhou Nanjiang first stated that Zhou Zeshan and Zhou Zhu had expressed high praise for Ningzhu, using this as an introduction to speak of the Zhou family's attitude, showing a keenness to be close to Ningzhu's branch, even more so than the main Ning family. Unfortunately, we didn't retrieve the bodies of Zhou Zeshan and Zhou Zhu, Ningzhu thought to himself, feeling regretful. These two talented members of the Zhou family didn't die by Ningzhu's hand. He discovered Zhou Zeshan and Zhou Zhu already fallen when he entered the main hall through the teleportation gate. They were killed by Meng Chang. Without letting Ningzhu speak, Zhou Nanjiang immediately suggested that the Zhou family was willing to deploy their best formation cultivators to improve and upgrade all the arrays for Ningzhu's branch, like those in the various artifact refining rooms. Ningzhu's face showed delight, and he immediately stated that close cooperation with the Zhou family was eagerly anticipated by his entire branch. It was known that the Zhou family's ability in array setting was unique. The Zheng family had previously offered a high price to invite the Zhou family to enhance and refurbish their own arrays, but was politely refused by the Zhou family. For the Zhou family, this was almost like aiding a rival, especially in terms of the arrays in the artifact refining rooms. Once these arrays were upgraded, it would certainly boost the prestige of the Zheng family. But this time, Zhou Nanjiang voluntarily relaxed, bringing up this matter for cooperation with Ningzhu, showing the sincerity of the Zhou family. Ningzhu knew clearly in his heart. On one hand, my combat strength is too exceptional to be treated simply as someone at the qi refining level. On the other hand, the Meng family has seized control of the Lava Fairy Palace, exerting the greatest pressure on the Zhou family, who urgently need allies to jointly counter the Meng family. After the matter of the Lava Fairy Palace settled, the entire landscape of Fire Persimmon Immortal City had drastically changed. The Zhou family, as an established clan, had already actively started to adapt to the major shifts. While discussing in detail with Zhou Nanjiang, the guest announcer sang out, "Lord Fei Si of the City Lord's mansion has arrived." Fei Si also brought along many gifts. The people at the banqueting hall were shocked once again. Compared to Zhou Nanjiang, Fei Si was the acting city lord, a trusted subordinate of City Lord Meng Kun, truly a significant figure governing Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Now, such an important figure had also personally come to give congratulations. Am I hearing things? This is utterly incredible. What virtuous deeds could little Ningzhu have possibly done? Fei Si didn't join the banquet either. Ningzhu had to briefly interrupt his conversation with Zhou Nanjiang to go out and welcome Fei Si. Zhou Nanjiang smirked silently, his face still smiling. Let's welcome him together. Seeing Ningzhu and Zhou Nanjiang approaching together, Fei Si also smiled meaningfully. Clan leader Ningzhu, it seems I might have disturbed you. Ningzhu gave a formal bow to Fei Si, expressing his gratitude for the great care Fei Si had shown him in the past. Fei Si narrowed his eyes, sizing up Ningzhu, and sighed deeply. Clan leader Ningzhu flatters me. Without me, with your strength alone, you're fully capable of overcoming various difficulties. It's I, Fei Si, who failed to recognize a hero. He was genuinely moved. After learning the truth from Meng Kun, he was completely shocked. He had not expected that Ningzhu, this junior, had hidden so deeply, devised such cruel and vicious plots, and was largely responsible for the downfall of the entire Zheng family. Fei Si's appreciation of Ningzhu increased, but at the same time, he became extremely wary and cautious. After all, this young man, merely at the qi refining level, had managed to deceive Fei Si several times. Such strategizing and skill were extraordinary. Anyone who underestimated him was bound to pay a severe price. Before Fei Si's departure, and in the presence of Zhou Nanjiang, he was particularly solicitous towards Ningzhu. Ningzhu, however, appeared indifferent, almost to the point of being the polar opposite of his former self. Such an attitude naturally pleased Zhou Nanjiang greatly. He understood that this junior, Ningzhu, was extremely astute, fully aware of the current political landscape and who the real allies and foes were. At present, the Lava Fairy Palace had already fallen into the hands of the Meng family. It was inevitable that Meng Qi would not relinquish it easily. Given time, with the Lava Fairy Palace as a strategic fulcrum, the Meng family would possess an almost perfect justification to continuously dispatch their cultivators to garrison Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Ultimately, this could lead to Fire Persimmon Immortal City being fully absorbed by the Meng family, turning it into a private domain of their clan. Under such circumstances, the Zhou and Ning families naturally needed to band together for warmth, countering the wolfish ambitions of the Meng family. Since Ning Zhu acted thusly, Fei Si did not linger, choosing instead to take his leave ahead of schedule. Ning Zhu saw him out with full propriety, all the way to the main gate. Before parting, Fei Si smiled faintly, mentioning Kai Dun. He said that Kai Dun, this body cultivator, had been preoccupied with Buddhist physician Meng Yaoyan, burning with a strong desire for a rematch to regain lost ground and soothe the discontent in his heart after the quelling of the demon beast tide. Ning Zhu also smiled faintly. He immediately discerned that Fei Si was threatening him through Kai Dun. Thus, he did not indulge the other party, simply saying, "I may be young and frail, but I too possess a heart eager for victory. If the esteemed Kai Dun has such refined tastes, then I must accompany him to the utmost. Only I worry. Under the big snake scythe, an accidental lack of restraint could tragically lead to the fall of the esteemed Kai Dun. That would be disastrous." Fei Si instantly dropped his smile, gave Ning Zhu an indifferent nod, then turned and swept away in his sleeves. Watching his ascending silhouette disappear into the sky, Ning Zhu's gaze turned profound, well aware that from this point on, his close ties with Fei Si had been completely severed, and they now stood on opposing sides. "The headmaster of the CU Garden, His Excellency Zhu Hu arrives," the greeter once again called out loudly, followed by the announcement of the list of congratulatory gifts Zhu Hu brought. Many hearts were once again shaken. Although Zhu Hu only had a foundation establishment cultivation, he was born into the Southern Bean royal family, carrying inherent prestige and a high status. Particularly since the royal family had placed him there to serve as a wedge, firmly embedded to monitor the situation of the immortal city and to counter Meng Qi's influence as much as possible. Ning Zhu had just returned from the main gate when he heard the announcement. He immediately turned around, approached Zhu Hu with a warm smile, and welcomed him. But Zhu Hu was different from the others. Upon entering the banquet hall, he immediately caused a sensation. Only after he mingled extensively among the guests at the banquet, forging good relationships, did he leave his seat to discuss matters with Ning Zhuo and Zhou Nanjiang. This time, he represented the Southern Bean royal family and wanted to support both the branch Ning family and the Zhou family, in hopes that they could thwart the Meng family's future encroachment upon Fire Persimmon Immortal City. The three of them chatted merrily, with strong intentions of cooperation evident. When the meeting dispersed, Ning Zhu returned to the floating banquet. After taking his seat at the main table, the cultivators who had been anxiously waiting all approached, offering their respects to Ning Zhu with raised cups. Foremost were Ning Yufu and Ning Haojun, two former family elders of collateral branches. Now that Ning Zhu was the head of the branch family, his status far surpassed that of the two elders. Ning Yufu assumed a clearly subservient posture, while Ning Haojun was even more deferential, for he had a favor to ask. He hoped that his blood descendants could return to Ning Zhu's branch family and have their sentence of exile revoked. Ning Zhu did not agree outright, instead saying that it would require inspection before a decision could be made. This simple response already moved Ning Haojun to the edge of tears, filled with emotion. "From now on, in the branch family, I hope the two elders will serve as family pillars, shielding the younger generations from wind and rain for a time," Ning Zhu cordially invited. Ning Yufu and Ning Haojun exchanged glances and agreed on the spot. Their retirement from the position of family elders had not been solely out of personal volition. Beside them, the academy elder's face was dark with frustration. He could only watch helplessly, and with resentment as Ning Zhu's branch family openly absorbed members from the collateral lines, quickly expanding and strengthening itself. Ning Xianxian and the other former stewards also came to Ning Zhu's side, eagerly hoping to be included in Ning Zhu's branch family. Ning Zhu announced that a list would be made public before long. Following this were Ning Chen, Ning Yang, and other schoolmates and members of the renovation team. Ning Zhu gave them some encouraging words. Among this group, his reputation had always been high, a status largely owing to his previous sharing of experiences. Now that his position as the head of the branch family was solidified, he naturally inspired their loyalty even further. The leaders of the Monkey Head Gang and the Crane Beak Gang were present as well, occupying the most remote seats. Nevertheless, they quivered with excitement. This was what they had dreamt of before pledging loyalty to Ning Zhu. As Ning Zhu's status soared, so too did they benefit, finally integrating into the circles of the righteous path. Having personally witnessed Zhou Nanjiang, Fei Si, Zhu Hu, and others coming forward to offer their congratulations to Ning Zhu, their loyalty surged 100-fold. Chen Cha, Feng Haizi, Unclean, and the one-armed craftsman all left their seats to come forward and express their congratulations. Chen Cha, with a complex expression, exclaimed, deeply moved, "Ning Zhu, without seeing it with my own eyes, I would never have imagined you could reach this point. Congratulations." Ning Zhu rose and clasped Chen Cha's hand, showing an exceptional closeness that incited envy from Feng Haizi, Unclean, and the one-armed craftsman. At the banquet, Feng Jiking boasted to the cultivators at the same table. Back when the Ning family clan leader was still alive, he asked me to evaluate Ning Zhu's mechanical fireworks monkey. When I laid eyes upon it, I was astounded. Without getting into details, just take the storage formation. It was designed to perfection. If it were me, I'm afraid I would have to opt for a cloud whale's empty lung. Ha ha ha, compared with such a prodigy, I am truly too ordinary to mention. Being in the same city as Lord Ning Zhu is already a great honor for me. Lava Fairy Palace. Meng Qi hovered slightly above the ground, sitting above the crater where the throne once stood. In front of him, a spell-formed mirror reflected scenes from within Ning Zhu's separated family branch. The protagonist in the mirror was none other than Ning Zhu himself. Meng Qi observed the white-clothed youth with profound eyes. He would never have believed, before the dust settled, that he could be defeated by such a junior. Who would have thought that within Fire Persimmon Mountain, a little cultivator at the Qi refining level could pretend and endure for over a decade, only to seize the Lava Fairy Palace by blowing it up and temporarily blinding all involved parties? Grandfather. Meng Chang burst through the main hall doors, rushing to Meng Qi's side. Is that Ning Zhu opening his estate today? I want to fight him, I haven't lost yet. Meng Chang yelled loudly, vowing to seek vengeance. Meng Qi snorted coldly and flicked his finger slightly, hitting Meng Chang with such force that Meng Chang ducked his head, holding his forehead and howling in pain. Grandfather, why did you hit me? Meng Qi, I told you to practice diligently and master more of the cultivation 100 skills, but you never listened. Did you see this time? With his proficiency in mechanical techniques, Ning Zhu left you streets behind. The mechanical monkey you saw as your life's greatest foe is merely one of his mechanical artifacts. In the end, the position of Palace Master, my dear grandson, was something he chose to relinquish voluntarily. Look at him, only 16 years old, even younger than you. At such a young age, he caused your efforts to fail utterly, splitting your spirit from your body. With such cunning and outstanding skill in mechanical artifacts at such a young age, he is even establishing his own branch today. Chang'er, you should really learn from those geniuses who are more talented than you. Meng Chang was stunned. Grandfather Meng Qi had always taken pride in him. Yet now he spoke words that made Meng Chang feel unfamiliar. After all, in the past, Meng Chang was the sole protagonist in such talks. Now, Ning Zhu had successfully pushed Meng Chang off his pedestal. All right, Chang'er, it's understandable that you were defeated this time. Even you and I were deceived by that cunning brat, weren't we? Meng Hu revealed himself. He walked up behind Meng Chang, lifting him up. I'll take Chang'er with me. The 3 superior sect techniques are foundation establishment by the 3 Dantians, with a focus on mechanical techniques, but since the opportunity has been lost and is unsuitable for Chang'er. Coincidentally, the Thunderclap Nation master from Thunderclap Nation is openly recruiting direct disciples. Chang'er has the immortal aptitude of frenzied rushing thunder, and if he can become a direct disciple of the Thunderclap Nation master, the outcome would be even better. Meng Qi nodded. That sounds good, take him then. No matter how much Meng Chang struggled and screamed, Meng Hu carried him away, turning into a rainbow and departing. Meng Qi was left alone, sighing deeply. Had he been in possession of the complete 3 superior sect techniques, it would have been a good option for Meng Chong to stay and continue his cultivation. However, the true scriptures of the 3 techniques were only contained within the body of the Taoist master of mechanical techniques. The connection to the soul entering Immortal Palace would at most grant the Qi refining realm's 3 superior sect techniques. The subsequent cultivation technique was hidden within the Dharma transmission bell, but for Meng Qi to unlock this bell, it was not just challenging, but he had nowhere to even start. Understanding the mysteries of lifespan all too well, Meng Qi knew. The lifespan of the Lava Fairy Palace had already been seized by others. A step ahead is steps ahead, and the subsequent blessings of lifespan would favor those who had taken them first, not him, Meng Chong. For Meng Chong to catch up would be extremely difficult, and he had already lost the initiative, wasting years without good progress. It would be better to make a clean break and start anew on another path. Divine sense spread out, Meng Qi once again surveyed the Lava Fairy Palace. The losses are too great, he shook his head repeatedly. From the bottom of his heart, he didn't want to take over this mess. But there was no choice, as the Meng family needed the whole Fire Persimmon Immortal City. And if the Meng family was to maintain long-term control of Fire Persimmon Immortal City, they needed a reason to counter the royal family's city lord rotation policy. Undoubtedly, the identity of the Immortal Palace Master of the Lava Fairy Palace could help the Meng family achieve this. This was why Meng Qi, a great strategist, knowing full well that it was a trap, still fulfilled Ning Zhu's wishes, voluntarily taking over and bearing the burden. Rebuilding the entire Lava Fairy Palace consumes a staggering amount. Only by seeking help from the family can it be possible. Even Meng Qi, at the nascent soul level, couldn't personally bear the maintenance of the Immortal Palace, which showed the immense cost of repairing the palace. What truly troubled Meng Qi wasn't the repair issue, but the positions. The Lava Fairy Palace had various positions, and even though the mechanical structures had fallen, the positions had not been abolished. According to the previous agreement between Meng Qi and Zhu Xuanji, no matter who obtained the title of Immortal Palace Master, these positions wouldn't be audited. So, although Meng Qi was now the Palace Master, he had a substantial number of positions under him falling into the hands of the cultivators from the 3 renovation teams. Their existence, controlling many positions within the Immortal Palace, undoubtedly greatly reduced the Meng family's control over the Lava Fairy Palace. This was also the most important foundation for Zhou Nanjiang and Ning Zhu to join forces against the Meng family. The separation was drawing to an end, and suddenly a guest announcer called out high, "Lord Song Fury has arrived!" Ning Zhu tensed slightly, knowing trouble had come to his doorstep. Song Fury, expressionless, stood upright. He neither brought gifts nor showed any willingness to step through the gate. He blocked the entrance. Clearly, Song Fury had chosen this moment with great care. As the banquet was drawing to an end, and the guests would gradually start to leave, his action of blocking the main entrance would inevitably lead to an ugly scene. The guest, seeing what Song Fury was doing, broke into a sweat and turned pale when he realized the implications. He tried to muster the courage to continue negotiating, but a mere glare from Song Fury froze him solid, unable to move. Another guest, seeing this, hurriedly turned and staggered into the banquet hall. Around the main table, cultivators came and went continuously. As the clan leader of the Ning family branch, Ning Zhu was always surrounded by a crowd. Even at this moment, he had to smile throughout, accepting toasts from others, also affirming his relationships and status with these people. Ning Zhu was not impatient. Rather, he was enjoying himself. The guest finally managed to push through the crowd, squeezed in, and reported to Ning Chen via a sound transmission. Ning Zhu smiled slightly and said aloud, "Song Fury, what is there to fear? Let's ignore him, I have already made arrangements." Seeing Ning Zhu's extraordinary confidence, the guest had no choice but to leave, albeit skeptically. Those around him, hearing Ning Zhu's words, all exchanged glances and grew fearful. Ning Zhu remained unconcerned and continued to chat and laugh with the people around him. At first, those around him acted awkwardly, their smiles stiff. Gradually, they relaxed a bit. Regardless, Ning Zhu's demeanor, unchanging even if the heavens were falling, instantly won many people over. Song Fury stood at the entrance, expressionless, his arms folded and statue-like, exuding an aura that screamed, "Keep out." Suddenly, a letter flew towards him, hovering before his face. Song Fury swept his divine sense over it, read through the contents, and discovered it was from Ning Jiufan. He knew that this golden core ancestor of the Ning family was formidable in battle, but having taken this action, he had already considered he would have to face Ning Jiufan. Song Fury put away the letter and still blocked the doorway, clearly showing disrespect to Ning Jiufan. Almost immediately after, another flying message arrived beside him. This time, the letter was from the city lord's mansion's Fei Si. The content was much like that from Ning Jiufan, advising Song Fury to stand down and not to disturb the order. Song Fury shivered slightly. Does the city lord's mansion really support Ning Jiu this much? A look of hesitation appeared on Song Fury's face. The next moment, a third flying message also reached him. This message bore the seal of the Southern Bean royal family. Song Fury reached out to take the letter, checked it with his divine sense, and sure enough, it was from Zhu Xuanji. Zhu Xuanji's intentions were much the same as the previous two letters. However, the wording was softer and more domineering. In the letter, Zhu Xuanji advised calmly, asking Song Fury not to be impulsive, to think more about the relations between the two countries, the future path of the Cloud Whale trading team, and to keep calm. The critical point was, even if Ning Jiu had Miss Rudy's mechanical artifact, it was still just his spoil of war. Such straightforward words made Song Fury show a flash of anger. But quickly, he suppressed this anger and subconsciously looked up at the plaque above the door. This plaque had been newly hung. The feelings Song Fury had towards it were now completely different from before. These continuous three letters fully confirmed that Ning Jiu's branch had firmly established itself. Besides the main branches Ning Jiufan, both the city lord's mansion and the Zhu royal family also recognized it. What trouble was there to find? Continuing to be foolish would only lead to his own loss. Even though this was a newly branched-out force, it was still the local snake of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. A strong dragon cannot suppress a local snake. Song Fury huffed indignantly, turned, and strode away. The guest, already sweated through, suddenly slumped down, watching Song Fury's retreating back, his face full of lingering fears. He finally left. The guest who returned to report, however, suddenly turned back and looked towards the direction of the banquet hall. His eyes gleamed with excitement, his heart pounding. The clan leader's tactics are brilliant. Without even showing up himself, he managed to deal with a golden core cultivator like Song Fury. That's just too impressive. Now that the dust had settled in the Lava Fairy Palace and the demon beast tide had completely dispersed, the flying trading company seemed redundant, especially that huge cloud whale floating in the sky, which was particularly irritating. Song Fury realized this point as he stood in front of the door of the Ning's branch. Humph! The true face of the righteous path. He went to the city lord's mansion and met with Fei Si, stating outright that he and his trading team would be leaving the city soon for the next immortal city. Fei Si, showing a reluctant expression, confirmed the precise departure date of Song Fury and his people. When he heard it was the day after tomorrow, his smile and reluctance grew even stronger. Clan leader Ning Jiu was no longer subjected to uninvited guests making proprietary claims, and the banquet proceeded smoothly. Many guests left and spread the grandeur of clan leader Ning Jiu's clan division ceremony, including the numerous congratulatory gifts presented during the banquet. As the news spread, it swirled throughout the city, altering public perception and once again stabilizing the clan's renowned status. Ning Jiufan and Zhu Xuanji were in a secret discussion. Song Fury has withdrawn. Zhu Xuanji received the latest intelligence, his expression unreadable. Ning Jiufan sneered coldly. At least he knows his place. Zhu Xuanji slightly shook his head. He is a cloud merchant, used to traveling far and wide, inherently pliable. His move to block our door was merely because he thought Ning Jiu was weak and easy to bully. In truth, he's an outsider and didn't know what eventually transpired. Realizing the reality, he withdrew voluntarily. I'm not surprised by this at all. At this point, Zhu Xuanji looked at Ning Jiufan, genuinely admiring. The Ning family has produced a unicorn. Ning Jiufan stroked his beard and smiled. Ning Jiu was only a low-level cultivator, Yet he managed to repulse Golden Core cultivator Song Fury by leveraging the power of alliances. This showed Ning Zhu's remarkable skillfulness. His capability in handling clan affairs as a leader was definitely sufficient. In fact, Ning Jiufan had recognized Ning Zhu's talents after hearing about the tripartite covenant of the Lava Fairy Palace. Now it was just being confirmed again. The two continued their secret discussion and eventually reached a consensus, signing a covenant. Zhu Xuanji handed Ning Jiufan a jade slip and a magic treasure on the spot. Ning Jiufan used his divine sense to scan the content of the jade slip and nodded in satisfaction. The jade slip contained beast-taming official techniques, and the magic treasure could disseminate official might. Together, they could help Ning Jiufan subdue the nascent soul demon ape. Watching Ning Jiufan examine the jade slip, Zhu Xuanji confirmed in his heart. This time, in the struggle of the Lava Fairy Palace, the Ning family is the biggest winner. Not to mention Ning Zhuo, just Ning Jiufan alone has gained incredibly. The nascent soul demon ape he ultimately saved and subdued could become a powerful asset in guarding the Ning family. Certainly, to some extent, it could also compete with the Meng family. With possession of a nascent soul-level demon beast, the Ning family had become the most powerful cultivator family in Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Furthermore, with the Ning family implementing a clan division, given time, the numbers and influence of both branch and main family members would inevitably be the greatest. Strongest in combat, largest in influence. The Southern Bean royal family vigorously supported the Ning family, naturally playing into the ongoing political maneuvers between the royal family, the main house, and the influential Meng family. If Meng Chang succeeded and Meng Qi became the city lord, nominally it would be flawless. However, the reality was that Meng Qi's position as city lord was willingly conceded by the Ning family cultivator. And according to the recruitment decree, there's no problem. Ning Jiufan checked the contents of the jade slip and showed satisfaction. For subsequent cooperation, Brother Ning can contact my uncle Zhu Hu, Zhu Xuanji said. Ning Jiufan gave him a slight nod, and they parted ways. Zhu Xuanji watched him leave, sighed, and turned to face Ning Zhu's divided clan. Though he really didn't want to deal with Ning Zhu, he had no choice. I have to go there after all. Zhu Xuanji could only steel himself and secretly meet with Ning Zhu. Inside the clan leader's study, Ning Zhu greeted him with a broad smile, overflowing with warmth. Lord Divine Hunter, you've finally come. These days I have been eagerly awaiting. Zhu Xuanji stretched out his hand in a gesture that said, we're not close. Don't come any closer, stay there, just speak from there, that will be fine. He continued, I need to correct 2 points. First, you're no longer some young lad, you are the leader of a split clan. Don't lose your dignity. Second, what you're looking forward to is not me, but a position in our Southern Bean Kingdom. As of yesterday, I received our monarch's decree. There is only compensation for you, no official position. Ning Zhu immediately became agitated, exclaiming, That's not fair, the recruitment decree clearly states. All right, don't think you can easily bully our Zhu family and the royal family, clan leader Ning Zhu. Zhu Xuanji interrupted directly. You are quite aware that transferring the Immortal Palace Master role to Meng Qi was unauthorized and not approved by our Zhu family and the royal house. That's against the rules. Ning Zhu quickly retorted, Lord Divine Hunter, your words are unfair. You were present at that time. If I hadn't transferred the position of Palace Master to Meng Qi, how could he, a nascent soul powerhouse, have intervened? Who among us could have suppressed the flame beast tide? Zhu Xuanji. I'm endowed with 4 divine skills and am capable of fighting a nascent soul. Clan leader Ning Zhu, your true combat power is not inferior to mine, so how could you not resist the flame beast tide? Ning Zhu hurriedly said, How could that be possible? My cultivation level is weak, how could I compare to you, Lord Zhu? Please, Lord Zhu, show mercy and do not lift me so high. At that time, I was thinking of the clan, of the lives and properties of the entire city's citizens. That's why I passed the Palace Master role to Lord Meng Qi. Lord Meng Qi is now the current Lord of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Surely it's more appropriate to entrust it to him, isn't it? Ha ha ha. Zhu Xuanji laughed in frustration. Ning Zhu, you had already calculated all of this. Handing over the Palace Master position to the Meng family was nothing but playing both sides, foreseeing that my Zhu family wanted to oppose the Meng family, and then your Ning family would be the best partner. You succeeded. Your family's golden core ancestor, Ning Jiufan, has already been secretly granted an official position by our royal family. And a magic treasure was gifted to subdue that nascent soul mother ape. The royal family won't provide any compensation for you, Ning Zhuo, but will award entry standards. Speaking these 4 words, entry standards, Zhu Xuanji emphasized his tone.